It's the High Phrase Podcast. I'm Alite, ALITE, ACDJ in front of me.
Still no headphones.
Absent from the seat. And our guest this evening is Jarelle.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Thanks for being here, man.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Excellent.
Brother rolled in like he sweat. Hey, you did.
Slow
He rolled.
motion.
He's just slick as fuck. As soon as you walked in that door, I'm like, dude, this dude's slick. How do we get this guy? I could feel the vibe coming from you. This guy's got something to say.
Hey, always.
Yeah.
Speaking of something to say, we got to start off with Kamaru Usmans, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That was a wild match, man.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I had a feeling he was going to win. I tweeted beforehand he's going to retain his title.
Yep.
But the way he did, you watched the fight?
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, dude, you missed out.
It was brutal. From the jump. Like, I was not expecting the not touching gloves, them
Mm-hmm.
being like homies and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, Burns said it. He's like, in here where there's no friends. You
Yeah.
know?
No friends in the
100%.
octagon.
Yeah.
And I'm here to take it from you.
Yeah.
And Kamaru took that personally, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, there's not a single welterweight that touches him in this division right now.
No, man.
No, it's clean sweep.
impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
I like the GSP call out.
Yes.
Oh, everybody
Yes.
does it. They just want a payday.
Of course.
So,
Right? That's all they
Well, so
do.
what do you-
They
what
don't
do you- what do
really
you
want to
think?
fight him.
What do you think,
No.
GSP or Kamaru? Who wins?
Come on.
I mean, I don't mean peak. I mean now. GSP comes back
GSP
now.
will kill him.
Or Kamaru.
Kamaru's like, he's wicked. He's strong.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Man.
Hurt.
And his stamina's incredible. You know,
Yes.
his takedown defense is wicked, and his ground game is pretty decent. You know, but George St. Pierre, his ground game is phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. No, it's shit, dude.
That's how good it
Make up
is.
new words,
That's
brother.
so good. It's
That's
so
how amazing
good.
he is.
We had to add levels to it, you know?
Right.
But then his stand-up is also wicked.
Yes.
So it would be a wicked fight.
Yes.
You know, Kamaru's got that fight IQ he likes to talk about, but George St. Pierre has that actual experience. So I think Pierre might take it,
Ooh.
unless Kamaru knocked him out.
Where's Kamaru from?
He reps
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Nigerian name. What do you think? Kamaru GSP?
Well, there are two people when I was a fighter that I did not want to fight. One was a indigenous person because indigenous people kick your ass when they fight you. It is the truth.
Hard.
I have the toughest people I fought in my life were indigenous males, and they are living thousands of years of their ancestors. They're bringing that anger into that one fight.
You're
It's
getting
true,
hurt.
dude. Yeah. The other one is Frenchman.
Huh.
Really?
Frenchman. Oh, sacre bleu. I don't want to fucking fight a Frenchman, man. They go crazy. Talking trash to you while they're fighting you. Even if you're beating them up, they still talk trash. That's all you got. That's all you got.
But would George do that? Would
George, I think, talks. I think George is very calm. He's like a Tom Brady, right? He's very calm, relaxed. But I think when he's got you, he's got a little
Just
thing.
whispering
He's
vicious
whispering
shit.
vicious shit to you. I think so.
Yeah,
he's
that'd be
French.
Well, his trash talking is garbage.
It is pretty
It
bad.
would be pretty bad.
Pretty bad. Don't you remember the Matt Hughes call out? I'm not impressed with your performance.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's all he
I bet you
said.
wish you could get out of this choke, huh?
Your real technique is like a badger.
Right, come on, man. Okay, so I'm a little biased to GSP because I have a friend that purchased an anniversary message from George St. Pierre.
Oh, really?
One of those cameo things, you know?
Yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah, so me and my wife celebrated our 20-year last year. And
Big things,
yeah, it was big. And George St. Pierre was our anniversary gift.
No shit.
Got on the
What did he
video.
say?
He's like, I want to say happy anniversary to Arif and Rosie. And he kind of wanted this
Yeah,
little
yeah.
thing. And you survive all the trials and tribulation. Kind of like a
Yeah.
French robot, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he did his thing, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
so I got George, man. I think George takes Kamaru Usmans.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's good. I think he would, just for the simple fact that, dude, in fighting, it's heart, and it's more than heart. It's like experience and heart. And I've noticed when I was a boxer, the one guy that really tuned me was this 60-year-old dude from Vegas.
Jeez.
An old brother who came into the ring. He's like, oh, you know, one of those older guys just like, oh.
Super chill.
You know, super chill, just like, you know, he walks over kind of hunched. He doesn't look like anything, just some old man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, back in the day, you know, I used to have it. But in his head, he's a vicious killer, you know what I mean? And his hands are like stone, you know what I mean? And then he's like, oh, sure, kid. Yeah, I'll come in and do some things with you, you know? Real soft-spoken brother, right?
Yep.
Gets in there, boom, 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 tunes me. He was like 6 years old. Brother switched,
Damn.
did left hand, switched, did right hand, switched, did both hands. I was like, what? Tune me. And he was like, I couldn't hit him. He's one of those guys just slip, you know, like,
Oh, yeah.
just give it to me. You try to give it to him.
Any lessons learned from that?
Yeah, don't mess with old men. Don't mess with 60-year-olds.
That know how to fight.
That know how to fight. You don't lose that. You only
Yep.
get better in time. It gets easier.
So what's next for Usman then? What's next in this division?
I don't even know, man. He's on the defense, right? So I guess we'll see who can step up to him, unless he decides to step it up and go to the next class.
Yeah, I think he's big enough to go in the middleweight. He's a big dude. He
He's
can
a
make
big
noise.
dude,
He
and I
make
think he can
noise.
handle some more weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
there's any middleweights that can bang with him either right now.
No.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch, man.
You know what? I got to give it to the UFC. It is getting better, man. It is. They used to be all on the ground and everyone complained. Then they got them up on their feet and then everyone complained. The art's gone, this and that. And now they have a good, right? It was like that. And now there's kind of a good balance. The guys know the importance of boxing in MMA now.
It's changing.
They're seeing the importance of having good hands.
100%.
Right? You can't be like a Silva and just get by on everything other than fucking punching. Those days are over, right? So you know, you see the transgression from boxing MMA that's they're mixing it up. They're trying to create this ultimate one fighting unit.
Yeah.
That's just going to be MMA, boxing, all this stuff just all mixed in, and all the fighters will just fight each other and it won't be separate, and it'll be big, I think.
Yeah, I don't think if you're just a boxer, I don't think you could ever transition to MMA.
No.
Ever. I mean, I think Clarissa Shields, the female boxer, she's trying to transition to MMA.
Yeah.
She's working out with John Jones a lot. But dude, there's so much ground stuff that you just can't
You have
learn.
to learn it.
When you're already like a fully developed athlete
Yeah.
and you're in your mid-20s and 30s, you got to spend years doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling and grinding.
That's true, but I feel like it's easier to pick up the ground game than it would be to take it away and transition
time.
from like jiu-jitsu to boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. Jiu-jitsu, there's no hands.
Dude, I have boxed
Yeah.
with jiu-jitsu guys back in the day, or like martial art guys, and they're like, you know, like
They got no hands.
Yeah.
They got no hands. They don't know what to do with them.
Well, and they tend to keep their hands out.
Yes,
because
they're
they
like
want
this.
to. They want to grab.
They're
right?
like trying to punch you. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
right?
Dude, man,
that's
that-
crazy.
Baddest black belt that was at clinch that we had. His name is Gary Herman. He's savage. He looks like just a regular middle-aged man. You would never suspect that he's tough. Wears the hat with the ear warmers and stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah. Looking
and
for a fight.
he just massacres everything. He's like a third-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu. And he would stand up and strike, and his hands were out here.
Yeah.
But nobody could fuck with him because the jiu-jitsu level was just so high, right?
Yeah.
But it's so weird to see people strike like
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah.
very weird. That was the days. I remember the George Foreman, remember? He used to fight like this.
Yep.
Right, George? Just fight like this.
Yeah.
Right, just club you.
Are you a boxing fan as well?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah?
I love boxing. I love boxing.
How did you like the Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.?
It was upsetting. Because those are two of my favorite fighters of all time.
yeah.
Roy Jones Jr. in his prime, phenomenal.
Oh, man.
It was
Unreal.
insane. His highlight reel, I could watch that all day, every day.
Yeah, it's sick.
Throw Tyson in there too, same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Incredible.
Hangover.
And then it was just, it was
tough.
Tyson was good, you know. Roy Jones, he was all right, but
Yeah.
he disappointed me.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
could tell his
for
conditioning wasn't at the level that Tyson's was. And
Dude,
the rules that
Tyson
they
was
had going
ready.
it was stupid. It wasn't a fight to begin with. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Dude, Tyson was
a
ready,
puppy
man.
show.
He unloaded some of those body shots, and you could see he was ready.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wanted to hurt him.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But, you know, he can't.
Didn't have
Roy
it.
Jones is old, right? I mean, Roy Jones looked his age.
And
Yeah.
I don't think Tyson had it, to be real honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he lost it. It's You lose it. You can't be Tyson forever,
It's true.
right?
You have to adjust.
You have to adjust. If anybody I would be more scared of would be Vander Holyfield. Because
Yeah.
at least he stayed lean and he stayed big. He kept doing steroids. And
Hasn't taken a lot of damage either.
He's taken, not too
not a lot of
much.
dog-
Yeah.
not a
He
lot of
feels
dog
like
fights.
he's like an athlete that would like stay, you know, fit, you know what I mean, all the time,
Yep.
and be able to kick little whippersnappers.
And he's got like 40 kids, too, so.
How old are you, Joe?
32.
32. So you were born. You're in
88.
88. Oh
sir.
shit,
80,
that was
baby.
a good one. That's the first year I went to juvie.
Oh, shit.
Was in 88. Wow, that's crazy shit.
Nice.
That's an interesting way. Segue.
First time I was strip searched as a child, son, is when you were born.
There you go.
Well, he was a gentleman and a kind face, and rather good disposition.
Wait,
Told me to bend over and lift my nutsack.
Did you
Sorry.
actually
Did
get-
we do the intro already?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Did you actually get strip search?
Yeah.
In juvie?
Yes.
What the fuck,
Dude,
yo?
first 1988. What year? What month were you born?
September.
Holy shit! Holy fucking mackerel! I went in September 1998.
That's insane.
No, but I did. But I went in there and, dude, they were like, "Okay, strip."
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
13. I'm like, yeah, what? They're like, strip your clothes off, put them in this bag. I'm like, what? Right? Because no one ever told me that before. And they're like, do it. Or we will make you do it. So I've always been around the type that's like, well, make me do it then, right? Like I've always been that guy when I was a kid, right?
That's not a good
But I just did it, and it was so harsh, dude. Like it's one of those things that break you as a child, and you wonder why these kids have so much trauma and shit in there, right? And juvie back in the day, right? But I wasn't going to juvie. I was asking what year he was born because I wanted to see what year. What age you were when Beta UFC came out, and if you ever participated in the back in the day renting the video and UFC 1, 2.
Yeah, no, I never ended up doing the renting. I had a lot of uncles who were the black box guy.
Yeah,
you know?
Oh yeah, you're in the black box era. Yeah, 10 years, 98. Yeah.
Everything free.
Exactly, man. You know,
Yeah.
So yes, I did watch.
Dude, those are some amazing times.
Oh hell yeah, man!
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, now they chase you down. And Dana White will chase you down. $250,000 fine if you're caught
Doing what?
illegally streaming the UFCs.
Yeah.
Oh
I don't
really?
give a fuck, dude. Dana brags about it too in the press conferences. He'll brag about that shit.
Yep.
We got this many streamers last time. He doesn't give a fuck.
How do they catch the streamers?
Oh,
It's the people who are sending it out that they're catching.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, man, they got hackers for the
VPN.
hackers.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Protecting their brand, eh?
So
Yeah, they have to.
you've been a fan since day one.
Oh yeah, I've been a fan. It was the on the ground game was never my biggest, passion of watching. I came from when I was younger. My parents put me into boxing and Muay
Oh,
Thai.
shit.
So striking was what I would like to see. Because it was what I understood.
Yeah,
Whatever you understand, you enjoy more.
100%.
Did you smoke?
Oh hell yeah, bro.
Hell yeah.
These dreads ain't for show.
Yeah.
So some Muay Thai and some boxing.
Yeah, man. So I really enjoy watching the striking element. Having this almost like live Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter type thing where they brought in the actual like different fighting
Yeah, that's
styles to
dope.
fight each other was
Yeah.
amazing. I hadn't seen that other than Street Fighter.
Yeah.
100%.
So it was wicked to see.
Yeah, I can say growing up, we didn't get any of that. We didn't learn martial arts. It's like, nah, fuck. We give you a roof and food. That's what you get.
You want to fight? Go on.
And live with it. You want to fight? Find it in the streets.
That's fine.
But honestly, getting into my 30s and joining MMA gym, man. Honestly, I'm telling you, man, that ground stuff is the hardest fucking
hell
shit
yeah.
I've ever done in my life. Dude, having someone on top of you, man, for a minute. Forget the 5 minutes they go in UFC. For a minute.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Give it everything they got, trying to
Yeah,
like,
man.
smother you.
You're grasping for
basically.
life.
Yeah.
So doing it and then watching it afterwards, you have such a whole new appreciation.
Oh, 100%.
Seeing fighters go through camps, cutting weight, all that chaos.
Horrible.
Yeah. Oh
bad
my
life.
God,
It's
man.
bad on the body.
You get a
It's
cut. You
tough.
fight. You train for 8 weeks. You get a cut. Fight's over. You can't fight.
Yeah.
Well, we had Shauna on here last week, right?
Yeah.
Talking about you miss a weight and it fucks up your whole 6 months of work that you put in, man.
Yeah, that'd be brutal. That'd be brutal.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, the fighting life period is just, it's not normal.
No.
Like, really, when you look at sports in general, the way that our athletes approach the game is not normal.
No, it's like ancient Roman gladiators. They're going
dude.
to kill.
Yeah, and also, like, just the way they treat their bodies. Like, okay, so you got LeBron James, $1 million a year spends on his body, right? And it pays for him. Like, whatever it is, the steroids and shit he does, it pays off for him. Hey, I
come
love
on
LeBron.
now.
LeBron's best
Come
of
on
all
now.
time. LeBron's best of all time, right? I'm telling you, but it's hard for me to believe after watching sports for 40 fucking years that... Are you a LeBron fan? Yeah, I am. It's hard for me
to
to
appreciate what he can
Yes.
do,
Yes,
but-
but I'm not against it. I'm not against performance-enhancing drugs. I think they should be allowed in sports. I think that we should obliterate old records. And I think that people of color should take over every fucking sporting
Well, they already are. That's
well, they should allow us to
inevitable.
just take it over and take everything. Take
Okay.
Wayne Gretzky's, get a brother in there, let him
Yeah.
fucking, right? Get a brother in hockey. What's take so fucking long, right?
Hey man, this is some
Vander
man.
Kane.
It's
Jesus.
That shit's
Yeah, it's
cold,
cold, right?
man.
Yeah, right. Hockey's the only one we can't take.
Right?
Right.
Winter sports.
Figured
Those
that
are
shit
safe.
out real quick.
Okay, so I've been hearing these stories about LeBron's work that they do to him. Do you know that his ice person and his physio guy go with him everywhere he goes?
Yeah, that's true.
Everywhere
That's
he
insane.
goes. He's at a restaurant, he's being iced. He's at watching a movie, he's getting work done. It's 24/7.
I agree. I'm joking about the steroids.
That's
obviously,
dude. That's
but-
insane. You know how much money it takes to keep someone beside you full time on a payroll?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at how
Work
much
you?
money these people make.
Yeah, it's
To be
ungodly.
honest, I think it's ridiculous how much money
Yeah.
they make. I don't
Yeah.
think an athlete should ever make more than a doctor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or than a
craziness.
teacher. You know, it's wild to me.
Facts.
But
So how do you change the paradigm? How do you change what the value is on that? Because everybody wants to be entertained.
You have to. We want
Everybody
sports
wants to
with
be-
a bunch of schlubby guys running around chasing a
But
ball.
the
You want
financial
fucking,
part-
superheroes.
The financial part of it, how do you correct it? Because the imbalance is out of control.
it's one of those things that I don't even know. I can't even begin to extrapolate an actual feasible way to do it just because of how long it's been this way. You know, it's a thing.
It is. It's a thing. Well, you look at LeBron just passed $1 billion net worth.
That's wild.
Net worth.
Yeah.
So brother's got $1 billion and he's not done.
Yeah. But okay, now there's measures to this, right? Like, there's a lot of people that collect and collect and collect and don't do shit. But he's done a lot.
Oh, he does a lot. I'll
Right.
never take that
The
away.
He's
schools
the
and
most
all that stuff.
honorable
Credit
act.
to do.
Yeah.
And he's had a pretty scandal-free life.
Yeah.
Same baby, same mother of his kids, no
Yeah.
divorce.
Yeah.
All that's been on the up and up his whole career.
Yeah.
Been pretty exemplary overall.
Yeah, it's a little prima donna-ish. You know what I mean? It had some moments. The decision
And I'm okay with
was
that.
fucking
He's-
pretty
Bit of a
brutal.
crybaby.
Yeah,
he's been a
bit of a
star. He's been a
crybaby.
star since he was 15 years old, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been
Since he was
groomed for
15,
this.
he was projected to be the NBA's future.
He's
That's a
he's
lot of
no
pressure.
different than like Drew Barrymore.
Oh,
I mean,
Huh.
didn't
Drew
she get into
Barrymore's the
drugs?
LeBron James of acting.
She fell into drugs. though,
Yeah.
didn't she?
big time.
Whoops. Sorry, Drew. But you know, you think of a child actor that was been
E.T.,
around for
man. Yeah.
E.T., yeah, right? Like around forever, and she was kind of groomed for Hollywood. And
She was.
LeBron was groomed for sports, man.
100%.
Like, you know, and he was groomed. I think he was the fortunate person that, unlike Mike, that was able to learn from the internet, was able to Google how to be a professional NBA player if he
Yeah.
was smart enough and he did it.
Yeah.
And he followed those rules, or he looked at all the legends in their careers, the ones that he wanted to be like. And he's like, okay, I got to do these things and not get involved with shit. Like Kobe fucked up by going to that hotel room with the girl.
Interesting.
Right?
Do
He
you
He
believe,
messed
fuck
up.
up.
do you believe there's some luck on the way? All the work and the preparation. Do you think there's some luck on the way?
I think there's luck in the sense of the era he grew up in. He had, like you said, the internet at his disposal. He had YouTube. He can go on and research tapes. He could research, strategy. He can research technique and posturing and everything like that, so that he can start at a level
High
that other
level.
people can't even attain in their adulthood.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So-
And I think he was groomed to go, listen, you're 8, you're 17, you're going in the league. Start thinking of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Don't stop until you hit Kareem. Like, nobody else matters. All that matters is Kareem. And if you aim for that, then you will be the greatest of all time. And I think that's what he did. He had one single goal in mind. And here's the funny thing. I don't think his number one goal is points. I think it's assist. I think he wants to be a points and assist
Dude has never
leader.
been points. He's openly said if scoring titles matter to him, he could get one every year. And I believe he could.
Yeah.
He's a really unselfish
matters to him.
player. He's a passer first, right?
He is a very unselfish player.
Yeah, he's definitely a passer first.
The
and
season doesn't matter. The overall career matters. Seasons mean nothing. He's going to pump off 25 seasons in his lifetime.
looks like it.
Yeah.
Most of any player ever.
Yeah, you
He's
know what?
gonna be
Steven
hit.
Jackson said something really interesting. He said Michael Jordan's the best player ever, but LeBron will have the best career ever. And I think that's pretty accurate.
Who is your team? Do you have a favorite team? You're
I
a
fell out
basketball
of,
fan,
I fell out
obviously.
of basketball as I got older.
Yeah.
You know,
What
I
happened?
it felt too politicky for me. You know, it got to the point where it was like,
What year are we talking here?
for me, it was
Early
like early
2000s?
2000s. Yeah.
So
when it started,
Shaq was in charge at that time.
yeah, you know, it started
Cotton.
getting to the point where it's like, it started to become, it's either going to be this team and this team in the finals
Yeah.
or this team and this team in the
Yeah,
finals. You
yeah.
know, there was too much money in only a few franchises.
Yeah.
And that enabled all of the super teams to start, you know, like,
Yeah.
and then it was just, it's not as fun to watch, you
It's
know,
an
when
interesting
you
point.
know who's going to win. You know, it's like spoilers.
Yeah.
You're watching just to watch at this point, just to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, there were a lot of
Who's gonna
shitty
watch?
teams for a good chunk of that time, for sure.
But NBA does that though, dude. They have
I think all
pockets.
leagues go through the swells, and you know,
Yeah.
because I mean, I would probably say over the past 8 years, this NBA has been probably the most competitive it's been in a long time. Past 3 years, especially, you know, we've had different champions every season. So, and we might even have a different one this year. So, you could have 4 straight seasons where there's been a different team as champ. Nobody's repeating anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's a healthy league.
Yeah,
when
it's
the
healthy.
champ turns over quickly like that.
Yeah.
But
Well, if you look at the NBA, it's the only of the big 4 who've ever really had dynasties that last. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like you can't really think of a dynasty in any other sport.
No.
Maybe the Yankees, but they haven't had a long run of
Gretzky
stuff.
Oilers.
Yeah, but that was like in the 80s. Like, it doesn't really happen. Like, you had the Lakers through the 2000s. You had, you know, LeBron himself for the past
He's his
13
own
years.
dynasty.
He's his own dynasty. Dude, that's the dude I would want to be on. Like, you're an idiot if you don't want to be on that guy's team. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta ask: do you like LeBron, or do you,
I
or
respect
do you have a
him as
favorite player?
player.
Who's your favorite player? Like, if you had one.
I couldn't even pick a favorite player.
Yeah, see, I
anymore,
respect
you know?
that because that's even better than having a favorite player.
I couldn't even pick one favorite player. Everyone kind of does their own thing. Everyone has a highlight. This guy's favorite player might be my least favorite because he doesn't do this in the way that this guy does. You know what I mean? So I don't like to pick the favorite player. Back when I was heavy into NBA, Celtics was my team to watch. You know, I was really a fan of back in the day Paul Pierce and Ray Allen and those
that
guys.
big three.
Yeah,
was
they
a
were
big
tearing
one.
it up. Then Garnett went over there, and then he
Yeah.
was, you know, it was getting
Those are
crazy.
good days.
You
Those
know,
are good days.
it was wild. Those guys were hectic. You know,
They were good.
brutal. I like that rough and tumble. You know, that
Yeah.
like grimy. You know,
Yeah.
Very defensive minded. And Paul Pierce is
Exactly.
a savage, man.
he is,
He's
man.
an underrated savage.
He was,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think it's so weird, man. I think he gets like delegitimized because he got stabbed up by Benzino and them back in the day. People think he's a punk, but dude, he got stabbed up and played the next
Exactly.
day.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got stabbed at a club and he played the next fucking day, man.
Exactly. How can you be punked for that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh wow, you got stabbed by this guy. It's like, yeah,
I
but I still
believe-
showed up.
The next
you know,
day.
like
Do you know what I really believe it's bad with Paul Pierce? And you guys really challenge me on this thinking, and I've always thought this with him. I think the reason he gets a bad rep is because he was a black man playing on the Celtics. And I think that it had a big part to do with it, that he was so good and that he brought them the championship. And I think that is a resented championship of sort in Boston.
fair.
I do believe it. The purists of the Boston Celtics is
I
what
can
I'm
see
talking
that.
about.
I can see that.
Right? And the people who fucking wear the underwear and the shirts in the streets and cause riots and shit like that.
For sure.
It's not black people doing that.
Yeah.
We know this.
Not over sports. That's for
Not
damn
over
sure.
sports. Right? And that's why I think that's why he gets that weird vibe about him, that weird shake from the public.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Boston was hard to win over when he first got drafted,
tough.
right? Because I think that was the same draft year as Christian Laettner, one of those like great white hopes that was supposed to come in the NBA. So he already had a bit of a target on his back. But yeah, do a lot of people say Boston is a racist ass city for basketball players? Indiana's racist as hell for basketball
I
players.
saw a stat this season that more people from the state of New England watched Tampa Bay Buccaneers games than they did New England Patriots games.
just for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come on, just for Tom Brady?
Well, I mean, I'm not a,
Like
foot,
you
I'm
got
a
to
football
really,
fan.
we got to think of the culture of America and what is going on there and how
Yeah,
that leaks
they
into.
pick one person and they latch on, and the fact that he was a Trump supporter too.
Are you a football fan?
I'm a football fan.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was a diehard Eagles fan.
Ah.
You know what I
Wicked,
mean?
great team.
Oh, sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a like
Horrible
a love
coaching,
loss.
horrible ownership.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they had awesome players and everything, but I just felt like a lot of the time you just, what are these guys? Fire this guy and get somebody else in there.
Crazy.
But, you know, that is what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how his politics get so excused so easily.
No, I don't agree with his politics at all. You know what I mean? And I was one of the people that was like, oh, you know, he's a mediocre player on an excellent coaching team.
Yeah.
But this season kind of proved me
Yeah,
wrong in
yeah.
that regard. I had to throw that out. I was like,
He brought it.
well, shit, I guess he is just that good.
He's a winner. He's a winner. He's a
Goddamn,
winner,
all right.
for sure. Yeah.
I take it back, Tom. My
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, like, you know, to have the hat right behind you in your locker when you're doing press.
Yeah.
That's kind of fucking bold, man. It's kind of bold.
It is bold.
Yeah.
You know.
It's kind of I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's borderline disrespectful just because there's players on his team that have probably had an issue with it.
100%.
And for him just to be so almost belligerent with how he flouts it is kind of whack.
Mm-hmm.
To each their own, you know. I won't unfriend people for political opinions, as you've seen on my Facebook.
Yes.
You know, everyone's entitled to an opinion. Some people's opinions are asinine, but you're entitled to it.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, that's yours. Own it.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but it's yours. And I got
okay. So
that, you know?
and I gotta say, I've seen this. You know, we obviously connected on social media,
of course, yeah.
And through these posts, you know, you kind of find where your like-minded people are, and you tend to gravitate towards like-minded conversations. And some of the shit these people do, I just don't understand.
Where's that? Are you talking
on social media, on Facebook?
Oh, on that internet thing?
Yeah, yeah. The Google machine.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dicks on there.
What? How do you stop yourself from going at everybody?
Oh man, I literally have to I started to take a minute.
Yeah.
When I was initially just instantly reacting, I was much more emotional with my reactions.
Yeah.
So they were a lot more abrasive. And I found myself getting into much more arguments rather than discussions.
Right.
You know, and an argument is not going to be beneficial to anybody, whereas a discussion can be.
Yeah.
You know, and I started to understand that even if I'll never change this person's mind, somebody else reading this might learn something.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, so
the true power of social media.
Yeah,
it's the
that's
imprint
it. You never know who's going to see it, and you never know what they're going to take from it.
Yeah.
So just because you can't change this person's mind doesn't mean you shouldn't still explain yourself, you know, because you might get through to somebody else.
So if there's somebody that you've actually known in person and then see shit they post on social media and be like, what? You think like this?
Oh, man.
That's got to happen all the time.
Yeah. Even to the point where, you know, some family members,
shit.
you'll just be like, Lee.
Wow, right?
Yeah.
But I think some of it's impulsive posting, though, as well.
Is.
Like, it isn't thought out, and you're not really explaining what you really want to say, right?
Yeah, as well as a lot of it is just reaction-driven. People just like to post things to get reactions nowadays. They post things that they don't necessarily believe in themselves. They just want to discuss or see what people think about you putting this up.
Trolling ass motherfuckers.
Trolls, man. So many trolls out there.
So, because we have this platform and it's so expansive and it's unbelievable what we could do with it. And you see some people that share these incredible things and I learned so fucking much. And then, you know, there's a whole other half of it that's just a fucking sewer of shit all the time.
That's all changing. Time. It's going to change, but it is what it is.
What do you think changes?
You mean the internet?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to become nice.
You think it's going to be...
Oh, it's like everything. Everything, there's a cycle for everything. You know, like there's that you can't continually push out negativity and not have people push back.
Do you play consoles?
No.
Because the online shit has been foul since PlayStation 1.
There will always be that. But I really believe that the niceness police will take over and it will happen. We had political correctness of the 90s, right? We had, you know, coming into now we're looking at this niceness cancel culture. Cancel culture is the one thing fighting back against nastiness right now.
Cancel, yes, but sometimes it gets taken too far.
Yes, it does.
A lot of the time.
Well, it's
a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But it's like, well, okay, but that's equal to, hey, I only entered this lotto for $1 million and I won $5 million. What's going on? Fair. Right? It's like I won too much money. Yeah. Right? It's like right? You would never complain about it, right?
That's facts.
But these things, you know, it's really shitty, man. But I do believe in the casualties of change. Right? And, you know, how you have to sacrifice a lot to change. Even in personal life, you have to sacrifice a lot.
Yep.
Right? So for us to change our views, we need to sacrifice.
But do you want a clean social media?
Fuck, you mean, what do you mean? Like no
shitstorms?
Oh, it's fucking good, man.
Yeah, like do you want a place like that?
I mean,
where everyone disagrees?
Nah, not really.
Right?
You get turned into like those echo chambers, you know, where everyone's just repeating the same bullshit over and over again. It's just bouncing off every wall, echoing from every direction. You just hear the same shit. and then it's conformity. You
Yeah.
know, it's either you conform and you post what we post, or you don't post. You know, so it's like, no, I don't really agree with conformity, so I don't want that. You know, plus I'm a shit disturber, and I enjoy watching other people be shit disturbers. You know, it's entertainment to me.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
I mean, I look at those sites, you know, on Facebook where they're like, no negativity. Like, I'm totally not on Facebook and I can't handle it. I just go on and post my thing and then I delete my
Get the
account.
fuck out.
Right? I'm like, delete account, fuck it. I go on there and it's like I'm using
Share
it,
the video,
right?
get the fuck out.
I'm using her. But it's like, you know, you go on there and, you know, I think we need to, you need to have a license to be on the internet. I think you need to apply for a license. You need to renew it yearly. And they need to monitor people who are on there because, and it isn't just for political shit, pedophiles and, you know, people who are really causing fraud, taking old people's money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of dirty shit online that you need to patrol more, right?
No, it's true.
You know what I mean? But you can have a site or a different internet that's all nice.
You give that power to like Google.
That's the problem.
You just agree that they're gonna make the right decisions.
I don't know. I think it could get to the point where I could not like you and I could fucking cancel you right now. And then you would have to go to internet court with me. But for then you wouldn't be allowed on the internet. I think it could get to that point.
Oh, jeez.
Where the power is to each person
Yeah.
that goes to tribunal and they decide, yes, that was a justified block or
Fuck.
not. And I think that's where it goes, man. And it'll eventually one day, it sounds like Black Mirror, like a Black Mirror
Right?
show. Right?
Yeah.
But eventually, right? Eventually one day we'll be policing ourselves, like in prison. You know, in most prisons, the inmates police themselves.
That's true.
To 90 degree, the cops police about 10%.
I like that, man.
That's how they make it work there. It's a part of society, right? That's how that society works. And I think the internet will get there. You know?
It'll become its own society.
Yeah, it'll become its own society, and there'll be, you know, there'll be police. You'll be blocked. You won't have internet. You know, think about all this free internet we're going to get. That's going to come at a price.
Well, because you don't see Elon Musk is launching those satellites
Yeah.
to bring global internet to everybody.
You're going to sign a call. You want free internet? Sign here.
Yeah.
We have the right to cancel you and not give you internet. So you're now going to your friend, hey, man, can I borrow your phone? I just need
Everyone's
Get my
fiending
fix.
for online now.
I need some shampoo, man. I'm itching all over the place.
Exactly.
Right?
Let me use your Amazon Prime.
What's the craziest stuff that you see on there that really gets you these days? Like, that gets you on the internet?
Oh, man. I have to stop watching all of this foul stuff with the police killing people. It just... It's gone to the point where, like, it physically upsets me. You know, like, it doesn't make me sick, but it makes me angry to the point where I feel myself physiologically reacting to it, you know? And it's just because it's so saturated. You see so much of it. And it's just disturbing to see so many people that look like you going through something that people should not have to, regardless of what they look like. You know? So it's just that kind of thing really irks me, and I wish I could see less of it. But at the same time, I understand that it has to be out there for people to see, because some people don't believe it happens unless they see it themselves because of where they live at, what they hear, you know. So it's a two-sided sword, you know. It's a necessary evil almost, it feels like.
It's so crazy, the imagery that's been out there. Like,
Yeah.
And what's weird and what's crazy is that they've been presenting it to us in the masses. Like, we've seen so much of it over the last 2 years.
So much.
Well, there's so many narratives that have to change, man. Like, we always hear one bad apple, one bad apple, one bad apple. How many videos do we have to be shown of bad apples before one? I've never to this day ever seen a video of a cop stepping in and stopping another cop from doing something fucked up. I've never seen it.
No.
Have you ever seen it?
seen one.
That they
I
stopped
saw
someone
one
from getting
video
hurt?
where a police officer got another officer cuffed because he assaulted somebody that was already cuffed.
Damn.
Wow.
The police officer was black, and then he had cuffed somebody, and then a police officer that I guess was, verbally in an altercation with the guy who was cuffed, didn't like what the guy said. He decks him. Instantly, the officer's like, cuff him.
Oh, wow.
Instantly.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. That's the first time I've ever seen
So
that.
yeah, so one amongst
Broke
the
the blue code.
thousands of videos.
Thousands of videos
Yeah.
showing otherwise.
Yeah, I think it leaves like a stain on POCs, and I don't think people that aren't brown understand that.
No, it's true.
I don't think they understand that. If they don't have brown skin, I don't think they can understand. Unless you're committing illegal activities and you're white, I don't think you can understand what it feels like to be around cops. Like regular white people don't know what a legal POC person feels when they see cops or are in the presence of cops.
Yeah.
Cop was up behind me. I don't do anything illegal, but I fucking get paranoid. Why?
Yeah, instantly.
Why
you're
the
like,
fuck do I
shit,
get
here we go.
paranoid?
What is he gonna pull me over? Am I speeding? You start checking everything.
Right? And it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. Okay, and here's the thing, okay? The thing that frustrates me is that I've had this conversation with people that are brown, and I'll give them my experience that I've had with police, and they'll say stuff like, "Oh, that doesn't happen here. Oh, you're exaggerating and stuff." And I talk to my brown skin friends, and they're like, "Yeah, happened to me. Happened to me. It's fucking. It's two completely different worlds when it comes to policing."
It is.
And as a racialized person growing up in a European settler country, have you had run-ins with law enforcement?
I have.
And
In Vancouver or
In Vancouver and Burnaby.
you felt like your safety was going to be threatened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Multiple times. I remember
were
one
they
time.
white officers?
Yeah. One time in New Westminster, I was walking through the store just trying to get through the mall, headed to London Drugs to pick up a prescription for my grandmother who lived a couple blocks away. All of a sudden, here's a bunch of people yelling, "Freeze, stop, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like,
All right.
they can't be talking to me. You know? So I just continue on my
moving
merry
fast.
way. I'm like, oh shit, somebody's in trouble.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
keep going. I hear it again, freeze, blah, blah, blah. I turn around, I'm like, damn, who's getting yelled at like that? I see like 6 cops, guns drawn,
Oof.
pointing at me.
Jesus.
I'm like, whoa, what's going on? They're like, get on the floor. So apparently what had happened was there was a kid in New West Secondary, an exchange student from Rwanda. He was 5'7", dark skinned,
Yeah.
slim build.
Yeah.
I'm very not that.
Oh, that was the description they had.
That was the description they had.
Wow. Unbelievable.
They had me on the floor, cuffed, guns drawn.
There's a black guy right there.
Exactly. I had a gigantic afro. This guy
Yeah.
was clean shaven.
Crazy,
I'm
man.
not dark skinned, you know, but
That's really sad.
it was horrible. It
Sad
was
to
like
hear you went through that.
one of those things where all of a sudden you no longer trust the police like you
No
did.
shit.
You know?
Yeah.
You no longer feel protected by the people you're supposed to feel protected by.
Yeah.
You now feel like, shit, I'd rather be around criminals than I would be around these people.
I totally would.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like, because
yeah.
at least
True.
something can happen to these guys. Nothing's going to happen to these guys.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's so true. That's a really sad feeling because all your life you're taught to respect the police from a really childhood. And there's always some interaction that changes the narrative.
I wanted to be a police officer when I was a child.
Damn.
When I was a little kid, oh man, I idolized the police. I was like, I
Yeah.
want to be a police officer. They're the heroes.
Yeah.
I got older. I'm like,
What changed it? What was the catalyst of change?
It was seeing that the police that were trying to be good were penalized for being good,
Oh, wow.
rather than them penalizing the people who were doing wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so it was almost detrimental to be a good cop. It
Still.
seemed,
Still.
you know, and I
Still
see,
is.
like, I'm sure it still is. But once I saw that reality, I no longer had the, you know, the illusion of, oh, I can be a cop and change it from the inside.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do anything. I'm not going to touch that.
Dude, Pacino
know?
showed us in Serpico, man.
Yeah.
Can't change it.
Great
Yeah.
film.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a god. He's a god
Great
when it
film.
comes to that shit.
Forgot about
So
that
have you looked at this situation and thought of what could the alternative be to policing a society as large as, you know, the ones that we build here?
Yeah, I've had some thought in this, and you know, I don't think we should eliminate police. I think we should eliminate policing as it has been done thus far. You don't need armed soldiers essentially to respond to every little thing.
Yeah.
That in and of itself can, you know, push something to another level that it would have never had been had this armed, physically threatening person not been there. there's a lot of instances where mental health, where addiction, where, you know, things like this are being called wellness checks.
Yeah.
How many times you hear somebody call somebody because they're worried? Can you go check on this person for me, please? I haven't heard from them in a while. All of a sudden, you read in the obituary.
Your mic.
The
Go ahead, keep going, brother. I'm gonna change.
No
this
worries.
the battery. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's wild in that sense, you know. And
Scary.
yeah, it is scary.
And I think we have to like, because the thing is, the policing is one part of the problem. The system that punishes people is a whole other problem. Like the
Yeah.
justice system, crimes that are committed with the sentences that they get are ridiculous. They're never proportionate to the crime that's committed.
Never.
You know, rapists get 8 years maximum, and that never happens. Never happens. A year and a half, 2 years, rapists are out.
Yeah.
Pedophiles, child molesters, all these horrible, life-altering crimes get these little slap on the wrists, and you know, drug dealers get 10 to 15 years.
Even some people get that for possession, you know, without the intention to distribute. Some people are being penalized at that level. Just for simply having something that is considered medication now. You know?
Yeah,
Now
bad.
that the man or, you know, white people can make money off it commercially, it's no longer something villainous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how many
that
people are in
crazy?
prison for life because of this?
Yeah.
It is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
Cannabis is multi-billion.
Those guys have made so much money. They should be paying lawyers to get all these weed guys out of prison.
No, I
man.
just think their sentences should
it
be
would
commuted.
cost them
Yeah.
nothing.
If you have a non-violent cannabis offense, you should not have a sentence anymore.
I agree.
Everybody that's in prison for cannabis-only offenses should be out.
I think Biden's gonna do it.
I
As
don't think
much
you have a
as-
choice.
Yeah, he's gonna do it, man.
Dude, and I mean, it has to happen in Canada as well.
Yeah,
You know, the
fully.
political
Yeah.
climate is stupid. It's powerless.
yeah.
So what do you do to change it?
I think that they should look at what some other places have, even some places in the States. I think it was Austin where they, you know, kind of restructured the policing system where
Yep.
they had unarmed civilian people respond to the mental health calls, the wellness checks, things of that nature. Sure, they could have a police officer armed at the ready on the outside,
Yeah.
ready to back them up if they need to. But look at hospitals. Look at psychiatric wards. How often do you hear of physically domineering people, you know, going at people with the intent to kill them? And how often do you hear of them dying?
Yeah, no.
Never.
Very
Very rarely.
Doesn't happen.
You know, like if this, my friend's mom was a psychiatric nurse. She was 5 foot, maybe 4, you know, 140 pounds tops. And she had people my size and larger
It's intense.
coming at her physically, trying to like drape her up, you know, like grab her, throw her around and all this kind of stuff, strike her, hit her. She's never had to kill nobody. She's never had to call somebody to kill somebody. If you can have somebody that small be able to talk somebody out of doing something when they're not in a state of mind to talk, why can you not have somebody in the proper state of mind be de-escalated by somebody who's supposed to be trained in this?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so I think what they need is to look at that kind of model and have people trained to deal with mental health and with addiction and to recognize these sorts of signs and be able to understand what is happening
Yeah.
to respond to those sorts of calls. And I think you'll see a drastic decrease in how many fatalities there are.
Yeah, and you got to look at the budgets, man. The budgets are astronomical.
It's insane.
Outrageous.
You don't need to pay to arm police with the, you know, military grade weaponry
crazy.
Why
that
the
they have
fuck do you need a
nowadays.
sonic cannon?
You don't.
This has come up before, too, on this show. Why do you need a sonic cannon?
Because you
if you're
never
a
know
cop?
when we're gonna need it, and we're gonna have it. And if something ever happens, I swear to God, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
What, on a UFO?
Get
Like,
old Lucy out.
are we fighting superheroes?
No,
I don't understand.
Man, right? It's ridiculous.
buddy.
So if you take
Stupid.
these okay, because I have 2 kids that are in the school system currently. Well, my son's in BCIT, my daughter's in middle school, and they have teachers that buy their own school supplies.
Yeah, that's
Buy
wild.
their
Yeah,
own
I know
fucking
teachers that
school
do that.
supplies. It's shocking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
if
normal,
you take,
apparently.
dude, even if you take a 10% piece out of the police budget, it's gonna mean nothing. Maybe they have one less sonic cannon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right.
Right?
They don't get one more of those SWAT tanks.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
just
yeah.
take one away and you give it to the school system. The whole school system benefits.
Yeah.
But these motherfuckers just want to keep buying weapons. So now we have the
It's our North
inmates
American
running
way.
the asylum, just getting whatever budgets they want. What's the decision making that changes?
Well, if you think about it, the way the North American school was modeled was a conveyor belt, for kids to go into factory life. Essentially, they wanted these kids to be prepped for 8 hours a day, short breaks in between that are regulated by somebody. They think this, do this, think this, do this,
Yeah.
and become indoctrinated to this, and then move on into the industry. Be it whatever factories that they have operating that they need, be it the
100%,
military.
100%.
And that's another reason I don't think that there is free education, because that takes away the military's ability to incentivize being in the army.
Yeah.
Join us, we'll pay for your school. If school's free, they lose a lot of people. So it's not in their interest to have that happen.
Yeah.
And military's government.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I think they understand, though, the military is a building thing. So when they take a recruit and promise him free education, it's a win-win for America, right? Because either the guy's going to go on and compete for a job as an American, in the world or whatever it is he does, or he's going to stay in the armed forces. So either way, once they got their claws on you, you go this way, awesome for us. You go this way, even awesome for us. It doesn't matter. Right? It's a really weird thing, that patriotism in the States, especially.
Oh, it's trash.
Yeah.
Even Canada.
Patriotism is dangerous, man. It's
very dangerous,
Nationalism, all these identities to things that don't exist are fucking horrible, man.
It's become fanaticism.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's different now. It's like rooting for your team.
Yeah.
How crazy those guys are showing up with their no shirts on in the winter.
Yeah, man. Like those
That's what it's
hooligans,
becoming.
the
Yeah.
soccer hooligans, rolling around. It's
Yeah.
gangs.
We got our own. Like, it's so funny when people say that. Oh, those
Like-
hooligans in the States. Oh, when they're soccer games. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, go down to a Dallas Cowboys football game. Just go into the parking lot. Don't even worry about that. Go to Seattle into the parking lot. It's Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Those are the people that can't afford tickets. So they go to the parking lot and they set up. And
Interesting segue, okay, that you brought up this rioting. Did you ever think in your wildest dreams that you'd see that Capitol building on fire?
No. Never did I ever think
fucking
that would
wild.
happen. It was insane. And then for the reason that it did happen,
yeah.
it was even more ludicrous.
It's so insane.
Yeah. It was wild, man.
It was like, this has to be set up. I'm looking at it as a tab. And I'm like, this has to be fake.
Yeah.
This has to be a bunch of actors.
Because you're like, of all
Right,
the
like-
shit going on that is a justifiable
Yeah.
reason to storm the government,
Yeah.
this is why?
Yeah.
Because you don't believe the system that he told you to believe when he won. But now that he didn't win, you can't trust it.
What message does this send to POC across the world, not just North America, that not only did they storm the Capitol building, they destroyed windows, they destroyed doors, they stole
They looted.
shit,
Yeah.
maskless, looking at cameras, smiling, laughing, like they accomplished something,
Being led in by police and directed by them.
smearing shit on the walls because that's the fucking white person thing to do.
100% it
People
is.
do that kind of shit.
Never
You don't
once
smear
in
shit
my
on
life.
walls. That's a white person
I've
thing.
known 5 shit smearers in my life, and we can talk about that anytime.
The only ones I know are chimpanzees that do that.
Yeah.
But and the fact that they did it so brazenly, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened. Not one bullet was fired from a cop to the rioters, terrorists, whatever the fuck you want to call them. There was one accidental shot, and a woman died.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But
They
what
should've wiped
message does it send to POC
It's crazy.
across the planet when they see this?
Exactly.
Like, we don't give a fuck about your existence at all.
Yeah, and shut up.
Yeah.
Sad.
And
big
shut
one.
up about it
That's a
because
big
we
one.
don't want to hear it either.
Yeah.
It's so tragic, man. That whole crowd should have been wiped off the map.
Man, it was insane.
The army should have been on that, or whoever should have been on that, the guards or whatever. They should have wiped the fucking mat with those people rolling in on a government Capitol building where,
That was
Nancy-
in session.
that was in session. Nancy Pelosi, all those people
AOC
were
being
there.
threatened while she's
AOC.
hiding in a room.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Hey, the vice president there.
Hang Pence,
Probably plugged into the wall. Go unplug Prince. Get him out of here.
Exactly.
They're going to vandalize it. That shit's like $4 million. Get him out. Right?
Exactly.
Like, it's sad.
So there's this one of these jackasses, the shaman with the fucking horns and shit.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
knows who this jackass is now.
Yeah.
Asked for a vegan diet.
Oh, in jail.
In prison,
They do
asked
that.
for an organic vegan diet.
Probably got
okay?
it.
And this motherfucker got it.
Yeah.
He got an organic. There's people that live on the planet free, not in prison, that can't afford organic vegan diets.
Mm-hmm.
And this motherfucker gets it for free in prison.
Not to mention, how often do you hear of people that were denied access to water and dying of dehydration in prison who are people of color?
Yes.
Yet they'll swap the prison that this guy's at because they don't have his dietary
Yeah.
requirements?
Yeah.
What?
Emergency
Dude,
transfer. Emergency jail transfer.
Yeah.
that Trump sheriff, that Arpaio,
Yeah. He got acquitted.
went to jail first
Yeah.
for people dying on his watch.
Yeah.
And Trump pardoned him. Just fucking flick of a switch.
Of course.
And these fucking rioters are mad now that Trump is not getting them all acquitted.
Yeah, I've seen so many videos of them finding out they're on the no-fly list
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
That is some of the funniest shit in the world.
gratifying. I must say,
It is. It
It's
is.
hilarious.
At least. You know, you're like, at least.
At least, oh man, that's so funny. He didn't pardon any of them. Well, why? He couldn't.
No,
Do
man.
you think
he
he
stood up
secretly
on
pardoned
Kodak
himself?
Black and Lil Wayne, bro.
He tried to pardon himself. They wouldn't allow him.
He didn't?
He tried to.
He
He
didn't?
actually did ask. He
did.
pardoned his kids.
Mm-hmm.
All of his kids are got preemptive pardons, like before I leave power kind of thing. I'm gonna grant you pardons. Blatantly doesn't give a fuck about any
He let
rule
some
of
criminals
law.
Go, eh?
Yeah, he's a slimy. I mean, what Lil Wayne's supposed to be a fucking appreciative handout.
Yeah,
We got
fuck
Lil
Lil
Wayne
Wayne.
free. Like, yeah, fuck Lil Wayne.
Fuck Lil
I will
Wayne.
never, if I go back to DJing, I will never play Lollipop ever again.
Motherfucker said he's never seen racism before because he was saved by a cop when he was a kid. Has he not seen anything on the internet
He's
ever?
an idiot.
The shit that people say about him?
I wonder how the black community feels about Lil Wayne. I've never really seen anything. No one's really said anything. I think he gets a lot of credit because he's been through some shit in his life. You know what I mean?
He's been through some shit.
Some abuse and stuff in his life.
Yeah.
And sexual
Can I just
abuse
say,
as a kid. And
as a rapper, he has some of the most diverse wordplay I've ever heard on a motherfucking MC. Okay, and on the same token, same level of garbage to match
I
up
was
with
gonna
the
say,
phenomenal
I've never
wordplay.
been the biggest fan of Lil
Yeah,
Wayne.
yeah, no,
I'd listen
same.
to him and I'd be like, what the fuck is he even
Yeah,
talking about?
Same,
Fucking guy,
same.
yeah.
But
But then he'll have like a couple tracks where
Yeah.
he'll say it and you're like, okay.
yeah, dude,
That was fire.
on that track, no one on the corners got swagger like us. The anthem track with Jay-Z, Kanye, Ti. Oh man, Lil Wayne sets that fucking thing on fire, man.
got some
But
good
I always say he's like McDonald's, man. You know, it sounds good, but you feel like shit after. Because it's just gross, you know, because
Yeah.
barometer is so low, right? But
Yeah.
you know, the fact that he pardoned Lil Wayne and expects that to be like something that people are supposed to, minorities are supposed to be happy about, like
And
thanks.
Kodak
Yeah.
Black.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Right. It's like out of all the colored people that have been wrongly imprisoned,
Meek.
you know, there's so many people you could have pardoned.
Yeah.
They don't even have to be celebrities.
I guess, yeah.
They could just
go
be
outside.
anybody. You know what I mean? Like, how many people have been in jail for like 40,
Oh,
50,
yeah,
60
man.
years
Hundreds
off of made up
thousands.
Yeah.
You could have pardoned 2 of them and let them have their last 20 years.
Dude, Asada
When you
Shakur,
pardon
man.
2
Asada Shakur,
jackasses.
fucking pardon Asada Shakur.
100%.
That would have been the most
That's-
glorious statement to people that are brown
He
skinned.
doesn't have the
Nah, he doesn't have the
fucking
balls to do that.
compassion
Pussy
to do
ass.
something like that.
Slimy orange motherfucker. Okay, I asked this question to a lot of people because no one ever seems to want to answer it for me, okay? There's no way in your life, in your teenage life, adult life, that you would meet a human being like Trump and be friends with him. Would that ever happen in your life?
Hell no.
Okay. You're having a conversation and a slimy fuck like this guy comes, because everyone's encountered a slimy fuck like Trump. Everyone at some point. You know, the kind of guy that comes up to a group of guys and starts bragging about sexually assaulting girls and everyone's supposed to go, ha ha, you funny.
Yeah.
He's that, Trump's that guy.
100%.
That guy.
He's that slimy motherfucking guy. So why why do so many men ally with him? What is it?
Because the U.S. has such a large population that gives them the higher probability of having much more slimy motherfuckers living there.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about Canada?
400
Because there's
million.
a lot of Canadians
There's-
that support Trump.
There is a lot of Canadians that support Trump, but
And
you know what
brown
it
skin
is?
Canadians too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of conservative thinking people in Canada that are conservative about the wrong things.
Mm.
They look at it as these guys, yeah, they might think like this and I don't like that, but I really like that because I already have this kind of money. I can save this much money. You know, so they're valuing a dollar over human dignity.
Yeah.
Essentially, so they can get on board with somebody else who they see valuing dollars over human dignity.
Yeah.
Because then they feel validated in that behavior.
I just don't understand.
And if that person leaves or is talked about in a negative light, they feel it personally because I'm kind of like that.
Dude, it's so hard for me.
Yeah.
It's
You
so
know what I
funny
mean?
because,
Yeah.
like, again, across the fucking planet,
Yeah.
the men that lead, the men that are in charge, are shells of men. They're not men. They're slimy. They're corrupt. They're greasy. All over the planet. You know, you look at Brazil. You look at the Philippines. Look at the entire Middle East. You look at Israel. All the leadership is slimy, gross men that no man that I know would ever want to keep company with.
Nah.
So who the fuck's voting for these people then?
Well, I think it goes down to like a little different. You got to go deeper. We got to go down that little rabbit hole a little bit.
And they've pushed us into the point of you're always voting for the lesser of two evils in your mind. You know what I mean? So when you're put in the position of
Yeah.
thinking of the lesser of two evils always,
Yeah.
you don't start to see it as two evils. You start to see it as, well, that guy's not as bad.
Yeah.
You start to settle.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get complacent. You start to settle. And you start to lose sight of your morals that you once had because you don't have a choice now. Or so you've been led to believe.
Yeah, and I think Trump was like the training wheels for racists, right? Like
Yeah.
it was like, okay, I want to be racist, but I don't really know how. What should I do? Well, follow this celebrity who's a racist.
Yeah.
And it'll feel good because you've seen him on The Apprentice. You've grown up with him your whole life. It's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He's abrasive. He says crazy shit. He's going to be the president. He has the button. You know what I mean? Like
That was a scary thought,
We
man.
loved that.
Jesus.
Well, not we, but I'm saying
I know what you
as a
mean.
general population.
Yeah.
They let's say they, because no one in this fucking room liked. So they said, you know what? Yes, I do hate fucking people of color. I don't like the fact that the NBA player gets $100 million and I have to fucking struggle and work really hard. I don't like that shit. Yeah, that's why I don't fucking watch basketball. Because you know people
Yeah.
white guys
Oh,
who don't watch
100%.
basketball. Well, why don't you? I just don't really like it. No, there's a fucking deeper reason for everything. Dude, you know that. And I think that's where it came down with Trump, is that it was their training wheels. Okay, I can get on the racist train. I can say that I like him because I watched him on The Apprentice. I like some of his ideas. You know, he's a business guy. America needs business, right?
Drain the swamp. He's
Drain
going
the
to go
swamp,
against
right?
what we know is messed up.
He was so smart that he was able to give you outs. That if someone said, "Hey, you're a fucking racist. You like Trump?" No. He's draining the fucking swamp, right?
Fake news. Fake news.
Right? Or,
Yeah.
you know, he's going to use his fucking business sense and he's going to make deals all around the world for America. That's what people thought.
Yep.
But secretly, dude, it's because they fucking didn't like people of color and they were sick of it and they thought this is the guy, the great white hope, that's going to bring it all home for us finally.
That's what all
That's
brown
why he
people
got
see.
73 million fucking people
That's
to vote
sickening.
for him.
Sickening.
And I think it was, at some degree, people were just mad as hell that Obama was in there twice.
Yeah.
And they just wanted,
That's the other thing.
they're just like, oh, this guy's fucking awesome. He just hates him. He hates everything about him. You know? It's
Yes.
like,
We'll
he
support him.
encapsulated everything that
But
they
the-
felt about him.
Yeah, man.
And he exploited that with the whole, you know, show us your birth certificate bullshit, and, you know,
Totally.
all of that.
So are you saying most of the population are just degenerates? Is that what we're saying? That most of the world's population are just degenerates? That the thinking is just degenerated to nothing?
No, I think those degenerate people are much more outspoken and active in expressing themselves. The people who are much more morally inclined and morally conscious, I feel as though they have less power, so they don't bother. You know, they become apathetic.
Yeah, that's scary.
And I think the level of apathy has exceeded the level of care. And that's where we have this, because now the people who care are the people who care about some foul shit.
Yeah.
100%.
You know?
Yeah. And also, you got to think 150 million people voted in the States
Insane.
out of like
big.
400 million people.
Pretty close to 400 million.
Yeah.
So you have 150 plus million people disenfranchised away from a voting toll.
Yeah.
Right? And these are people in impoverished areas and
Yeah.
people who don't have representation properly in there, right? Like, or just people who aren't educated or aren't talked to or whatever the demographics are, right? So you really think about that. What's the true opinion of that country? We only get the 73 million to judge on, you know?
Exactly.
That's a big fucking sample size. That's a big. Can you imagine that many people are willing to sacrifice things that should be common decency towards human beings
Should be.
for a personality type?
But I guess if you think about it on that scale, at least it's only a quarter of the population thinking like that,
Jeez.
which is a horrible thing to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least, you know, it could have been half.
Yeah.
That's where I think if you're going to really make any changes, even in our country, number one, I think that kids getting together and going to school and then playing and then going to school is too much for them. I've always felt this way as a kid and as an adult. I'm like, you send someone, sit down your thing, stay still, learn, listen, shut up, listen, shut up, shut up. Can you go to the bathroom? No, wait. Bell rings, you jump up, your fucking adrenaline's going, and you're like, oh my God, I'm free. To your next one. You sit there, fuck, same thing, right? Go out to recess, play, run your energy off. Right, you're messing with a kid's mind, man. I really don't believe that that's what school. I don't think school helps you. I think people need to be homeschooled.
I would do it if they paid.
Yeah,
I would do it.
There needs to be
I
a
love
way.
teaching. I love teaching my kids, man. I think they would take great to it as well, man. Because I can tell you, man, the curriculum is as cookie cutter as you can possibly imagine.
Horrible.
It's not made for any kid.
Yeah.
So
No,
the thing is,
It's not made for real life, man.
yeah, we were having this conversation. And I was telling my kids, you know, you have a class of 30 people, one teacher. What you should have is a class of 30 people and 6 teachers. So 5 kids get 1 teacher. So you get as much individualized instruction as you can possibly get. Because one teacher can handle 5 kids and customize learning plans for their abilities.
Yeah.
Because every kid's got different abilities, man. You can't get every kid the same recipe and expect them all to pick it up.
No.
You know, like growing up, I was pretty fortunate. I picked up school pretty easy.
Yeah.
But I remember all my friends around me struggling as hard as fuck. They just couldn't get it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get the teaching. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So you need to completely transform the way you deliver information. And it's not like the formula has not been done. There's countries in the world that do this. I think Finland, kids don't have a classroom until they're like 8 years old. They learn everything outside. Everything is outdoors. And there's other countries where, you know, they learn how to cook from a young age. Cooking is like a normal thing. It's not here at all.
Or
Yeah.
even in Japan, they teach like social responsibility where
Yeah.
the kids are cleaning, you know, and cooking for each other and all kinds of stuff.
Cleaning the
Crazy.
school
Cleaning the
bathroom.
school.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's a big
know?
deal. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
I mean, I see it firsthand, man. I see it with my kids firsthand, man. They're made to do things at home. They have to clean. They don't have a choice.
Wow.
And their friends
Good for
don't.
them.
They just, you know, whatever their parents
great.
say, they just don't listen. Parents end up doing it.
Oh man, I took my grandma grocery shopping, and then we were at Walmart, and there was just this kid walking, just screaming. Walked down another aisle. This kid's laying on the floor having a tantrum, and I look at my grandma. I'm like, you know, it's so infuriating seeing these kids these days wilding out, because you know if that was you would have got your ass
Yeah.
whooped.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? And then all you're
Yeah.
thinking is, why are these kids not getting their asses whooped?
Yeah.
And now look at society. You have so many kids that just need an ass whooping, and they don't fear because they don't think it's going to happen ever. You know, like how many people just need to get punched in the mouth?
Yeah.
Ooh.
100%,
You know what I
That's
mean?
a
True.
big number of people.
You know what I mean? Just to learn to shut the hell
Well,
up.
do you think that's important though in your life to get beat up or to learn some kind of lesson?
Yeah.
It is,
100%. I think everybody needs to get their ass whooped at least once when they're out of line, because they need to understand that there is consequences to their actions. Yeah. Yes, there is freedom of speech, but there's not freedom from consequence. You can say whatever the hell you want, but somebody might disagree with you. You know what I mean? So,
dude, we advocate for martial arts in school early.
Hell yeah.
Kindergarten, start martial arts training. That's mandatory part of the curriculum. Everybody knows how to fight. It's not going to be any bullying, man.
No.
You're not going to bully someone when you know they could choke you out.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Even the playing field, right?
Yeah,
and it makes kids mentally tough. You know, like seeing kids, what happens to them when they have martial arts in their corner, man, they become different people. Transforms who they are.
Much more disciplined.
And confident.
Yeah.
I see the way my kids stand. You know, they stand way taller than they did before. You know they could fuck somebody up if somebody fuck with them. Oh, for sure, man. Like
they at least have their moves, right?
Well, I see with my 19-year-old, like, because he was always really good at striking.
Yeah.
He picked up Muay Thai super fast. His long limbs, so jiu-jitsu came really easy to him as well. And yeah, man, I see it. I remember when he started when he was like 14 and did it till 19, 5 years. That's a big developmental period when your body's like transforming.
I'll give him
right?
30 seconds. I'll give you 30 seconds.
Nah, he wouldn't lie. Dude, you got the man strength, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's that old.
But you know, I've got to roll with him and spar with him and stuff. And if someone his size fuck with him, he'd knock him the fuck out.
Oh, that's cool.
And dude, my daughter's a bad motherfucker, man. She would fuck somebody up.
Nice.
She would fuck somebody up. If kids mess with her, they don't, because she's a nice kid, but she would fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
Every kid, man. Do you have kids?
No, I don't have any kids of my own, but I have a bunch of younger siblings, and that's something that I always thought was super important. Since they were kids, I taught them how to throw down. How many do you have? I have 4 younger siblings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so with brothers, sisters?
3 brothers, 1 sister.
Oh, wow. 3 brothers, 1 sister. Wow, so 5 of you.
Yep.
And you're the oldest?
And I'm the oldest, yeah.
Did you guys have like a real growing up together? Like you guys?
Yeah, we all grew up together, you know, single parent household, you know, so it was a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Being the oldest, I had a lot of responsibility, you know. So
you're the oldest, eh?
Exactly, yeah. I kind
Are
of
you the most anal out of all of them?
I can be.
Yeah,
I can be the short-tempered one, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I can be the longest-tempered.
Yeah.
You know, I can be the calm one, or I can snap because I've had enough of your shit.
Is it true about all of the, like, the first, the second, the third? Is it true personality? Like how they say the last one's the spoiled one, the baby?
Yeah, you know, yeah, to a point it is true.
It's
the
true,
archetype
eh?
is true. Because it only gets spoken on that much because it happens so often. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it would be such a long-lasting trope if it wasn't true a lot of the time.
Wow, that's crazy. Big family.
Yeah, I'm a middle child. I can attest. I can attest.
Eh? I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
Right, so
and I have an older brother that can do no wrong, you know.
Yeah.
And my youngest, you met my youngest.
Yeah.
He's the baby, for sure.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes.
How long have you
represent?
Yeah, so good represent.
Okay, everyone.
So I've seen this all over social media all the time when we had clubs, when clubs were a thing. All the time, always packed. What makes So Good so different from every other promotions team that's out there?
Hey man, we see each other as a family.
Yeah.
And we throw parties that we would want to invite our family to.
It's dope.
We see our guests as part of the family too. If I'm having a dope party at home and I'm inviting my friends and my family, I want it to be tight. And I want it to be as tight for everybody else as I would want it to be for them. You know, and that's how we approach things.
It's dope.
We look at what people like and we try to incorporate that. We make it less of you have to come to us because you do this. No, it's you want to come here because this is what you would be doing anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which DJs are part of the crew?
We got DJ Physic. He's been a long running homie. You
Physic.
Know? He throws it down.
Bad motherfucker, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, we have the homie DJ Relic. He rolls with us hard.
Shit.
You know, we DJ Arms.
All party starters.
DJ Freaky P.
Shit.
You know, those are the homies in rotation. Now it goes back. We had so many other homies roll through, like Hoppa, old reggae DJ. You know, we had Jay Fresh roll with us a bunch of times. You know, Icy Touch rolled through. So a lot of times, you know, so we incorporate the city as a whole because we understand that everybody is talented as fuck.
Yeah.
In their own regards and their own rights. And no two people can do it the same. And it's going to be a lit party if you can incorporate enough of these guys often enough. You mix it up.
keep a regular rotation.
Even though we are a hip hop night weekly, it's gonna be a wicked party every week because it's not gonna be the same shit every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's always always dope music.
That's cool.
The music never fails. How long have you been a part of this
I've been with So Good now for 9 years.
Ooh,
Wow, that's a long time.
9 years, almost 10 years. Yeah.
man. So how has COVID changed everything for you guys?
Screeching halt, my friend. It's you know, because we throw parties the way we do, even when they were allowing clubs to be open, we could not justify throwing a party, charging cover, and not being able to put on the party that we are known for putting on.
Right.
So we stepped out of it from then, you know, so it's been rough. It's been rough. You know, I miss hanging out with everybody because that's what it was. It was a chill session.
Yeah.
You went there to kick it with people that you didn't get to see all week,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of homies. You know, I see them all as my brothers, you know? And it sucks being away from them for so long, not being able to see them as often, not being able to vibe with everybody. But I understand at the same time that at this point we cannot do it properly. So we wouldn't do it right now.
Is there any way in this landscape that you could see doing a party that reflects what you guys want to do?
Not right now, man. Not until I guess the vaccine or something similar to that is more understood and, you know, worked out and finalized and distributed, you know? Because how can you have a nightclub where you can't dance with people? Where you can't be at a bar ordering, where you can't have conversations.
Lean on somebody.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're going to the club for. You want to grind on somebody that you see over there. You know, you bring your lady there. You guys want to vibe and be able to chill, you know, with your homies and everything. And you can't do that right now.
Yeah, no.
Socially distancing.
Have you been to any of these quarantine shows?
No.
None of them?
No,
That must
man.
be weird to do a quarantine show.
It's a little weird. We had plexiglass in front of the stage.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
the tables were all socially distanced.
Yeah.
4 people per table. And yeah, massive plexiglass.
that's like the
stage.
Roadhouse.
Very strange.
Hey,
It felt kind of like
protect you from the audience.
you could kind of see glimpses of what Mad Max would be like eventually one day when there's nothing left and everyone's just trying to entertain each other in front of a
Entertainment took
fire.
the biggest hit
fucking
of
weirdos.
everything. Usually, entertainment is the one that survives through something because usually it's like everyone needs entertainment.
It's necessary.
But entertainment's changed because of COVID, and I think it's always going to be. You know, and not saying that music won't come back, but we're going to have to come up with creative ways of having big events in the near future. Even you think about it. Okay, so it comes back when they say, okay,
I think
can
it
have
will.
concerts.
I think it will.
I don't know if concerts are going to be lucrative enough for artists to come here.
Well, I think artists are just going to have to change the profit model, right?
That's what's going to have to change.
Lower ticket prices,
Or they
and
used to do
merch
more
becomes the
shows.
go-to, right? Because dude, these guys make killing off of merch.
Yeah.
You go to a concert, you pay $95 for a hoodie with one iron-on name on it,
Horrible.
right?
It's muy horrible.
So they're gonna have to just change the structure of it. So hip hop's your go-to for music?
Hip hop. I'm a big soul guy. I'm an old soul man. I'm listening to like Sam Cooke.
Top three. Give me your top 3 right now.
Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, Benny King.
Ooh. Okay, you say Sam Cooke. Interesting. Have you seen this one night in Miami?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I
haven't
watch
watched
it. I
it
haven't.
yet.
I started and then I knew I wasn't gonna have time, so I stopped.
That's
Fucking
exactly
watch
what it was.
this, yo.
Because I want to be able to sit there and enjoy it on a
Yeah.
Oh,
level.
yeah.
I'm waiting till I can sit there and vibe by
Dude,
myself.
it's got to be no interruptions. You got to watch it all the way through.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It's going to fuck you up. Can you imagine at one time, Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X were like just homies?
That's insane.
They just hung out.
Yeah.
And Malcolm converted him to Islam. They were just in each other's vicinity on the planet at the same time.
Yeah. They were amazing
wild.
men at amazing times, man.
Yep.
Like, and you know what's funny? Like, we have people now who have that same possibility, right?
I think so.
If they just
some
get the
people
right
out there.
message, and I think a lot of the problem is, you know, you look at back then, there were great leaders. Well, there's not a lot of great leaders.
No, not right now.
In the black community, man, there isn't one.
Just in the POC community overall.
It's a really
All brown
thing.
people. It doesn't matter where you look on the planet, man. The
There's
leadership
no
is
one that
terrible.
can stand up and be the spokesperson, the person that speaks, and that people are like, yes, let's do this, right? There's nobody, right? And you think about it, everyone's like, well, what about The Rock? And I'm like, you know what, dude? Like, We're not gonna. No celebrity is gonna become anything again. It's never going to happen.
Who would have been the last person for you that you can think of? Could have been like the uniter.
The uniter,
like the
just that,
latest person.
That leader who just
Had
kind
a
of
great,
that
like,
everybody loves.
Yeah.
what's that kid's name?
That would follow. They would follow him.
That actor Jesse Williams.
Oh, okay, I remember. Yeah,
he was one of
He had a
those
moment.
people that he was a celebrity, but when he spoke, he was very poignant and he spoke powerfully. And he capitalized on his ability and his platform to spread a message. And people listened and people spread it. And people didn't see it as an attack because of how he spoke.
So what happened? He had some issues with this. He had some issues with women, right? That kind of derailed his whole train. Wasn't that the issue?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even know.
Because it all came
some scandal.
it all kind of
Scandal
stopped.
popped off,
It all
and then
stopped.
it stopped.
He's getting too big. Let's settle it down.
But
I think
that seems to be the kind of the thing that
Shit
happens.
that happens.
Yeah, I think Pac.
Exactly.
I think Pac was the guy, man. I think Pac was the
before
last.
that, Pac.
Yeah,
Dude,
I agree.
he could do anything.
Yeah,
And just walk right through it. He fucking shot at cops.
yeah.
Defended himself in court, and won the fucking case.
Yeah.
Just walks off like nothing happened.
Yep.
There's nothing like that.
I think if
Nothing
you
like
get
that on the
too
planet.
big now, like Nipsey,
Yeah.
it ends. For
I think he could have been a good leader.
Yeah,
He could've
He
been.
was doing a
moving
lot.
in that direction.
He was opening schools. You know, he had a vision, and he was somebody who understood the hood life and never glorified it, and instead tried to pull people out of that mindset. You know, so I think like you said, they saw him as getting a little too big for his britches. You know, so
Well, someone like left field Kanye West.
oof.
Like Kanye saying he's going to run for president.
Hell
in
no.
2024.
That's a big no for me, man.
Public, right?
That dude is
But-
insane, man.
He's
Something's
pretty
wrong
crazy.
with his head.
Yeah,
There's
he's
something wrong,
crazy.
man.
Like I don't
It's
think
crazy.
I think
People
he's sick.
listen to him.
I don't know why. People listen to crazy people because they are so confident in what they say
Yeah.
that you have to get behind it. You're like, well, man, he fucking believes it to that degree. He must be right.
Okay, what about the music? What about the music?
I like his old shit.
Okay.
You know,
When he wasn't crazy.
I feel like his music started to go downhill for me as well.
Huh.
I understand that he was being more experimenting with it and pioneering with it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that for what it was, but it wasn't my taste, so I don't like it.
Right.
I can appreciate it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean?
So was there a time where you were on the bandwagon?
With Kanye?
Yeah.
Oh, his old shit, like up to graduation,
Okay.
late registration. I really liked 808s and Heartbreak
Yeah, it's
even,
a good album.
Like, it was just after that, it started to transition into this, for me, a downward spiral.
Yeah. Dude, when he came out and said George Bush doesn't care about black people,
Insane.
I was like,
One of my
fuck
favorite
yeah,
moments of all time.
That's a
Kanye's
great
the
moment.
shit.
One of my
gonna.
favorite things.
I thought he was gonna flip the script and just tear into society, but he
Yeah.
just kind of
Mike
like
Myers' face, I think, was
Yeah.
my favorite part of that
Priceless.
whole video.
he's
Priceless.
so
He was
stunned.
like,
He's like,
I'm never getting on stage with a black person again. Like,
wow, he is
his
gaped.
face, you're just like, this motherfucker. Like, you just saw it, you're like, oh,
Kanye
man.
to me is the guy who shows up at the basketball court in the full Kobe uniform with the shirt tucked in and the
Yep.
Adidas
The fucking
and the arm things
compression-
on.
the
Yes, the
armbands,
compression
yeah.
thing for pickup basketball at the school, right?
Yeah.
That's
He's
who
that
Kanye
motherfucker,
reminds me. He
man.
tries way too hard.
He does,
way
man.
too hard.
But he's the
does.
only child, right?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Only child syndrome for sure.
I,
Yeah.
Spoiled ass motherfucker.
I think what it was I think he might have some sort of maybe bipolar or something.
He said he did. Yeah.
Like
He was on
bipolar?
Rogan for like 3 hours.
Yeah, see,
Wow.
yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his mom was the one person who kind of grounded him, and after he lost her, is when I found that he started to lose himself.
Yeah, no, okay, I can honestly, he didn't lose himself because he talks about himself like nobody else
Yeah,
does.
no.
Yeah,
it's
but
pretty-
now he's talking about the himself that he is now.
Yeah, and it's wild to hear someone constantly tell you how great they are without actually saying that they're great. Like the ways he uses the vomit of words that he uses to get around to the place where
Oh,
he
man.
tells you he's great.
What do you say? He is Shakespeare. He is
Right?
Einstein. He is what like
He's
Yeah.
even Steve Jobs when he feels like it.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, he is one creative mother. Like fuck,
He's
some of the
creative.
he's written some bars sometimes that make
yeah.
me say, I wish I wrote that fucking bar.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
he's
some of
good.
those, man. He's
and
got
his
some of those
producing,
quotables.
some of his
Oh, wow.
beats that he's made. Like I just
Wow.
listened to the instrumental. I'm like, this slaps.
yeah.
like
Yeah.
He comes out of
fire.
that Dilla school, man. He comes out of that Dilla school with those ill harmonies that you just can't fucking.
Yeah,
Is
man.
he school trained?
No,
No,
he's
he was a
self.
child prodigy,
He's
right? Like,
self-taught,
yeah.
just
Oh, is he?
insane.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Like from a young age, he considers himself a genius in it because of how quickly he was able to adapt to it so young.
Wow. Just that brain,
On a
eh?
genius level, he believes he is.
Wow, crazy.
I think he. I mean, you know, you can't ever say someone that's
crazy.
genius level should just stick to one thing because that's
No.
not really what geniuses do. They dip,
They
right?
They have to expand.
Yeah.
They
So
have to see if they
tough.
can do everything.
tough.
You know.
Mm.
what's your first exposure to hip hop? What trapped your brain into this?
I have this vivid memory of I had a cassette tape player, a Walkman. My mom, when I was a kid, she was taking me and my younger brother to register one of those, like, if your kid goes missing, you know, you
Right,
had to
right.
go and like give your thumbprint and everything and like write a bunch of stuff, and they like gave it to the police and like,
Yeah.
oh, if this kid goes missing, we have a profile.
Mm-hmm.
So I vividly remember this. We're going there waiting, and I put on my headphones and I'm listening to Dr. Dre,
Ooh.
Keep Your Head Ringing.
That's-
And that's a vivid memory of mine.
Wow.
Keep your head ringing.
Yeah.
Fuck, I was just getting out of juvie when I fucking first heard that song.
Full circle.
I was just getting out of juvie, man.
Right when I'm vibing and just getting
Wow. So how old were you then when it happened?
Oh, shit, man. I think I was like maybe 7 years old.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's about right. That's about right.
Fuck. I would have been in
Somewhere around there.
high school,
95,
graduating.
95.
Damn.
And that was like, I was like, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a great song, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's crazy. It was keep the head ringing for you is G thing for me, man.
Yeah.
That was
The
your first.
second
That was your first.
That was my
exposure?
first time that I remember saying that I can't listen to anything else anymore. This can only be hip hop. All other music forms got thrown in the garbage.
Yeah.
But when you hear that synth, man, like, nah, 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 like what
Yeah.
the fuck is
Yep.
this?
Yep.
Oh man.
Damn, man.
All
I
right.
remember I was purely hip hop and R&B once I got a bit older, and I started vibing to that. And then once I transitioned to like high school, I was all dancehall.
Oh
I
shit.
was, I was like,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah, of
it.
course.
Like, all reggae dancehall. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all I want to listen to.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking wicked. These
The
guys
girls-
are angry.
girls
They
dancing
just-
and shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Right? I was like, this is wicked. You know, this is the vibe right now. You know.
All the
Hell
dance hall
yeah.
concerts and shit.
Oh man,
that was
yep,
great.
Yep, we were up in the hall parties and everything. You know, banging on walls.
Sweat dripping everywhere.
Yep, lighters going and shit.
Dude, I remember playing Champion for my kids when they were young, like 2-3 years old, and they fucking cried. They thought it was a monster. Well, because Buju Banton sounds.
He's got a
"Whoa,
deep
that
ass
guy-
voice,
so-
yeah.
Oh yeah.
They thought he was a monster. They would
That's
cry
so
every time we played
funny.
Champion. Now they
But
love
every
it.
time I was in the dance hall and I heard that, I'm like, all the girls just want to bang all the dudes right now, like, because everyone would just get extra fucking greasy.
Oh, man.
And his voice, hey, and his voice is like,
Fucking
you know what
telling
it's, you know what it reminds you of? It's like the guy who hires you to come over have sex with his wife. He just sits in the corner, hit it now, and hit it like that, and hit it like that, and you're like, yeah, okay, man, just settle down. You're throwing me off. Fuck, throw me off, dude. Chill, fuck. Take your money back. I'm out. I don't want this.
You know what? Never mind. That's funny,
Dude,
though.
when you asked that question about your first rap experience, whatever, I never thought about it until you asked that, and mine was Two Live Crew.
Oh shit.
Mine was Two Live Crew. I was 15 years old.
Damn.
Right, I was in school, and my buddy's like, "Dude, check this out." Yes,
Illegal.
illegal Two Live Crew cassette, and I'm like, "Whoa, what is that?" No, maybe he had the CD. I don't even remember. I remember he had the thing. I'm like, "Oh, awesome!" And the reason why I remember this is because the teacher busted us, and they're like, "What is this?" Oh my god!
Which album? What songs?
It was the not Band in the USA, but the one right before that.
Fuck.
Is that? We got some.
Hey,
We got some.
we want some
Hey, can I
food.
say that
Oh
out
my
there?
God.
Right? Remember that one? And it's got like. What was it called? It was one with the big booty on the cover.
That's not the one with Fuck Martinez. That's the next
No,
album.
it was the one with the big booty on the cover.
Yeah.
So long ago, man. It's 31 years ago.
Oh my god.
That's wild.
All right, so it's 31 years ago it came out. And I remember we got in so much trouble for having that thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm never listening to anything but rap after this.
You're like, hell
Dude,
yeah.
I was 15. I had long hair because I wanted to be a rock star singer, right? Up till I was about 15. And then someone slipped me some rap, man.
That's so funny. It's such a flip.
Dude, I was like, hair, yeah, boom, kicking on the mic, bam, right?
Yep.
Tight ripped pants, right? And I had a couple guys and we were going to do a band and all that shit. And then someone slipped me a little hip hop.
Fucked you
They're like,
up.
hey there, long hair, right? It's like, hey there, whatever, right? We were headbanger back then. It's like, here, try this.
Yep.
Dude, I went to Fantastic Sam's, cut all my hair off.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, got a hip hop haircut like back in the day. Yeah, I got like a whatever the lines and Brian Bosworth, right? The racist white redneck right? haircut.
Yeah, a lot of that shit.
So it was.
So who's in your playlist right now?
Right now, I vibe to the same shit. I'm horrible with that. Like, I've been listening to the same shit for years. You know what I mean? Like, I expand it to a point, and I'll throw in different tracks.
Yeah.
But still, man, I'm still just vibing to the same. I'll put on my Sam Cooke playlist, and then I'll see what pops up. Vibe to some Etta James through it, you know what I mean?
Damn.
Nice.
When I'm feeling the other stuff, I'll throw on some Nipsey. I love his vibe too, you know what I mean? See what the playlist builds out of that. Always throws in some Kendrick. I'm a big West Coast fan.
Yeah.
I appreciate East Coast music. It's just a lot of the time much more aggressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
In the tenacity of it, and it doesn't hit the vibe that I'm looking for in that moment. You know, it's much more situational for me. But yeah, no, I vibe with that. I've been listening to a lot of like Joyner Lucas.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who's somebody in there we'd be surprised that you'd have in there?
somebody that you'd be surprised that I have in my playlist.
Yeah. Be like, what? Really?
I have a song by Lady Gaga in my playlist.
Oh, wow.
Yep, my girl put me onto this track.
Oh, that's it. She has a couple good ones.
I didn't know she could sing.
She could
Oh, yeah,
I didn't know she could sing. I thought she was all poker face and that bullshit.
No.
I was like, oh, fuck Lady Gaga. Get that shit out of here.
No,
My girl's like, no, listen to this song. She
some
put it
wind,
on,
man.
and then she told me afterward. I was like, well, goddamn, she can sing.
Yeah, she's a great
She's got
singer.
some pipes, man. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
impressed.
Okay,
that
so
put me onto
if
that.
there's an afterlife, and you got to take only 3 artists' music with you to the afterlife,
You mean death?
whatever's after it,
Okay.
and you can only have 3, who you taking?
Whew, that's hard.
That's a good question.
That is a
You
wicked
came up
question.
with a good question.
Says a lot
Yeah,
about people.
man.
This kind of question here.
I think I would take
Their whole discography? Okay.
Sam Cooke,
Again.
Vibes Cartel,
Oh.
and for my hip hop, I would have to go their whole discography. Busta.
Oh shit.
Busta Rhymes.
Busta.
Wow.
He's got quite the fucking discography, man.
That's crazy.
Damn.
He's got a long one.
He's got a long one.
Yeah.
And he has so many collabs on it that I could still get my hits into
Yeah.
other people.
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Every song he ever had was on. Yeah, that's a good one.
Who you got?
Oh, really? Me?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a really tough question
big
to
one.
even think about right off the hop. Jesus.
Right?
Yeah, that's tough. Well, I guess I would have to go Dr. Dre for sure because he's just someone that's always been in my life from hip hop. NWA was the second tape that got confiscated from
Shit.
school, right? CD got confiscated from school, so I remember that. I would also have to throw in a curveball here. Much Music Dance Party.
Yo,
Wow.
those CDs were fire.
Yes, man. All volumes.
Very era specific, yes.
They were. Hey, man, they had fire.
They were good,
I
right?
used to
From
get my
number
mom
one
to
all
buy
the
me
way
the
on.
CD every year, bro. I was like, that's all I need. Just one
That's
CD.
a good number 2. That's a good number 2.
Right?
That's
Fair. All right.
interesting take.
And then, to be real honest with you, and it's going to really bother some people when I say this, but I have to take R. Kelly's.
Oh,
Yes, I said it. Yes,
chest.
but I'm in the afterlife, and all I'm enjoying is that fucking guy made some amazing music, and I know it hurts, man.
He made. You know how much it hurt for me to delete his music.
It was. I deleted it too,
Fuck.
but I'm in the afterlife,
Fair.
right? And
get
no
it,
one's there
man.
to judge me, and I could just be like,
I've already been judged.
I can't sleep, baby. I can't think, baby. Right? Like,
man.
shit. Why'd you do it, Robert?
Right?
Man.
All R. Kelly
But-
songs, you go that one.
But if I know, I can't.
What?
But listen, if I had to not pick R, then it would, and I probably wouldn't because I'd have to take Michael Jackson,
Yes.
Michael Jackson.
Okay.
the other
Right.
guy.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Because Michael Jackson, I don't know, man.
I don't think he did it.
I got a bad third, man.
I don't think he did it. I think that's a better one. I think you should lead with Michael.
I'm in that camp. I mean, I get a lot of hate for being in that camp, man. It's tough. It's
tough.
tough.
Man.
In the pro MJ camp, it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he did it.
Yeah.
Oh hell no! I don't think he did it at
No.
all, dude. I think he's the most polarized, misunderstood person.
Yeah.
I think he was just a child in his
Crazy.
head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
You know what I mean? Like he was
Yeah.
abused on a next level as
Yeah.
a child, and I
Yeah.
think he never got to have his childhood, so he never grew out of his childhood mentally.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's all it was. He was reliving his childhood vicariously through having all these children
Yeah.
around him.
Yeah. He helped out a lot of people, man.
He did, man.
Oh, it's so tough. It's so tough.
What was your three then?
Pac has to be there.
That's a tough one for me not to have Pac.
Yeah.
That was honestly, I was thinking about taking that as my rap too.
Yeah, because he's one of the reasons that he's one of the reasons that I started ever thinking about even putting rhymes to paper, because of the emotions that he invoked off his writings is so impactful. So Pac's definitely the top for me. My curveball is Miles Davis for sure,
Miles Davis.
because I just started getting into Miles' catalog. I'm telling you, man, that guy plays some fucking notes that just like peel your skin off, man. It's
Yo, he
fucking,
plays.
It's unbelievable what happens with this music. So Miles takes that second spot. Ooh, third, I gotta go MJ. Gotta go MJ.
MJ, man.
Gotta go
Yeah.
MJ.
I
Gotta go
feel
MJ.
it, man. I feel
Yeah.
it.
I feel like MJ's the greatest of all time. He's the goat
Yeah.
of music.
I would
Yeah.
say so.
Yeah.
It's
MJ,
timing.
MJ or
It was
Prince?
timing.
I like MJ over Prince.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
I appreciate Prince's like musical mastery. Like his musicianship is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's crazy how many instruments he's mastered.
Mm-hmm.
But the sound,
Yeah.
I got to give it to Mike.
Right.
Oh, Michael's unbeatable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely more appealing to the ear. Prince is just one of those, once
Yeah.
in a lifetime kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I just love hearing celebrity stories about Prince. He's got the funniest fucking stories.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Shit that people say
He's
about
such
Prince
a
is
small
hilarious.
person. He's such a
Yeah.
big personality.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Oh,
Well, you
yeah.
see him at any award show, any interview that he ever does, he's always got this fucking outrageous attitude about him.
Yep.
Always. Like
Yep.
he shit don't stink. I am the only thing that matters in this room right now.
But why did they just go out like suckers though? Like
It's so
sad.
unfortunate.
So sad.
it's really sad, man. Like they don't think about what they're gonna be thought about when they leave. They become such a big legend that it becomes nothing. They're just like, I'm just this legend, whatever.
Do you think so though? You don't think Prince thought about what people would think?
No, because then you don't die a sucker in your elevator.
So you don't
in a
sense
drug
any
overdose.
fuckery in that situation?
No, I think he didn't care anymore. I think he accomplished everything in his life, and he's just like, what do I have?
Because he was performing the night
I
before.
don't have friends.
The night before, he played like a 3-hour set, banged it out. People were loving it,
So
and
did
then
Elvis.
yeah, Elvis was like, you could see Elvis going straight to a hole though.
Yeah.
He gained all that fucking weight, sweating profusely on stage.
Yeah.
He was going there. But Prince still looked good, still sounded great.
Yeah, they
He's
all
just-
do that. They all do their final show and then have a thing. Jimi Hendrix.
What do you think? Do you think there's some fuckery involved?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I genuinely don't think there has been any fucker involved with that one. But I'd be open to the idea of it having been, just because I would rather always.
Because it wouldn't be the
I
first.
love conspiracies.
It wouldn't be the first.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
So this is a segment of the show. It's a good transition into our conspiracy
Yeah.
part of the show, which we ask you to just kind of give us a little idea of what kind of conspiracies.
Can I launch one at you?
Yeah, you can
Since
totally.
it's Black History Month, I'll launch one at you right
Yes.
now. How MLK died.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first one.
So this is a weird one because I've heard conflicting stories. Obviously, he was shot.
Yeah.
And then I've heard he was alive on the way to the hospital, alive in the hospital, and was told, and the nurses were told to not care for him and let him die.
Oh, wow, I could see that. What year is this again?
1967? Yeah. So the doctor came in and said, I'm not helping that N-word. Let him die.
Wow.
And they let him die. So there's even stories that go so far as to say that the doctor put a pillow over the face
Wow.
of MLK.
Wow.
You hear about any of this shit?
I didn't hear the pillow over the face
Yeah.
one. I did hear the, let him die kind of thing. I've heard that
really?
one. And he was polled as the most hated man in the United States of America
At the time?
at the time.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't see that being a far cry from being possible,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's terrifying.
That's scary, man.
It is.
It's so, sure, maybe it did happen, right? Or, maybe it wasn't there wasn't a conspiracy. Maybe, what's the other side of it?
They just deliberately murdered him. Yeah.
So it wasn't even that they did it at the hospital. Like, it was just whoever
Well-
did it was the American government, obviously.
Well, I mean, they paid the family. They paid MLK's family a settlement, like in early 2000s, I think, over like wrongful death of killing of MLK. So they admitted to setting him up to be killed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this like part of the information that's going to come out of?
I know it's
things
been out
that-
for a little while now. This part, yeah, and obviously Malcolm was assassinated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of more assassinations than we know. I think
For sure.
hell yeah.
people
For sure.
get it for
Yeah.
certain reasons.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Cooke died under mysterious circumstances around the same time Malcolm died.
Yep.
And they were like coming together to do some pretty. I won't spoil it for you, so I'll leave it. I don't want to get into the movie part of it, but yeah, there's like spectacular deaths lined up back to back to back.
Oh, wow.
What's one conspiracy theory that you have that you don't want to believe is real?
That I don't want to believe is real.
Yeah, but you hold on to it like.
I hold on to it thinking that it's possible,
Yes.
or that I'm just like,
Yes.
this is so entertaining.
Or this,
Both.
It's entertaining,
Okay.
whatever.
The entertaining one for me would be the lizard people running the government,
Oh,
running
yeah.
the world. That is my favorite conspiracy of all time.
They don't run the world.
Oh man,
They don't run it.
no.
They take part in it because they're trying to educate us and bring us to their next level of consciousness. And the only way that it will work is if we are all together. And our struggle, the thing about the lizard people is that
They're not the evil ones. I thought the lizard people were the evil ones.
no, they've learned to be lizards, and the thing about lizards is when a lizard loses its limb,
Yeah.
it grows another
grows
one
it
back,
back.
right?
Yeah.
So what the people have learned is that, when you lose your limb, brother, don't worry, I'll grow you another one. You could take mine. You could take my arm right now. I'm gonna just grow another one on the weekend, whatever. I'll just grow it, brother. But as long as you have, right? They work together, right? And
Okay.
that's what they want. They want us to learn how to work together, because if we all work on one conscious level, we will be able to obtain the knowledge that they have. But we're not that civilized. We're not that. We haven't evolved to their level yet.
See, and that's kind of a good one into the segue of my one that I'm hoping that is real. Is I believe in aliens.
Oh, nice.
I believe that
Yep.
it's much more likely that there is alien life out there than that there isn't. So that's one that I guess would be considered conspiracy to some
For
people.
sure.
So I guess that's one that I'm holding on to.
Have you had any weird sightings?
Me and a couple
Experiences?
homies, we swear one time it was me, my brother, and my cousin, and then one of our other homies. We were chilling outside by my mom's place one time, smoking outside. I was leaned up on his car. We're like all kind of in a circle around, and I'm just looking up. It was nighttime. The sky's nice and clear. We're just watching the stars, and then we see this. We think it's a satellite at first, coming across the sky. And then we're like, that doesn't really look like a satellite. It's kind of speedy. It's kind of quick for a satellite.
Yeah.
It goes behind a cloud, does this weird maneuver, and goes like straight up.
yeah.
It looks
Shit.
like
Yeah.
never comes out from another side of the cloud, and we just see it fade into nothingness as it goes straight up.
Shit.
That was a weather balloon popping.
That's
And it just
probably what they
fizzled.
would. Yeah,
fizzled.
right.
destroyed their whole train of thought.
Right?
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty trippy.
So, do you think they're here then? Do you think we've already been visited?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I think it's much more likely. I think that if they have the technology to be bringing them from worlds, you know, hundreds and thousands and millions of light years away, you know, then they have the technology to go unnoticed there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that it gets really sophisticated, like to the point where the humans, the high up there humans and the aliens get together in a conference.
Like a collaborative kind of thing.
Every year they get together, have a little dinner, right? Every year, you know, the aliens get up and make a speech. It's like, hey, this year we got a new invention for you, right? Like this year it's Teflon. Like, check this shit out. Your food won't stick anymore. Congratulations, humans. You know what I mean? Next year it's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Door prize.
What the fuck are the aliens bringing this year? That fucking Teflon shit is great. Yeah. All right, here you go, motherfuckers. Wait till you see this one. We got this magic eraser. Look at this shit. This shit will clean anything.
Oh my god!
All you stupid motherfuckers using paper towels.
Right.
Right? Like they just do that, and it's just the alien. You know.
Do you think humans are fucking good enough to keep those secrets, man?
Yeah.
You really
How did
think
we
so?
get an invisible plane? The fucking it flies under the thing, and there's no, and you can't see it. You know that whatever that invisible
Flies
plane.
below the radar and whatnot.
Yeah, but then the one that doesn't reflect the sky, and it looks like it's the sky, right? Like you can't even see it when it flies by.
So you think we're not capable of doing that ourselves as humans?
I don't know if we can go back to one of the greatest technological events in the history of the world, which was the pyramids, and ask ourselves, do you think we're capable of doing that as humans? Because we can't do it now. Right? How did they do it, man?
And to be honest, we hit a gigantic spike in sudden speed of technological and scientific advancement
From the 80s.
And even a little bit before that, you know, like they started with like lasers, you know, were a new thing, and then microchips.
Yeah.
And then from there it was just boom.
Yeah.
And then that kind of happened around the time that what they said, the Roswell crashes, allegedly, when they may or may not have reverse engineered some technology from some crashed ships, right? So I think it's likely, you know, that we have some sort of symposium where...
I think so.
Well, because a lot of info is being put out about this stuff recently, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Think about this, though. There has been an announcement recently that there's going to be a huge announcement regarding the oceans coming either this year or next year.
Oh, wow.
Some people are positing that it could be the reality of underwater bases, be they governmental or otherwise. Some people posit that they're going to say Hollow Earth theory is real.
Oh, that's a wormhole.
Right? Hollow
Dude.
Earth, that's a fun one, too.
Yeah, that's deep.
That's a fun one, too. Literally.
Yeah. Jeez.
But, and some people were like, oh, maybe they found Atlantis, you know, so... I think it's one of those things where a lot of information is coming out in such a speed these days that it feels like they're trying to desensitize people almost to the likelihood or actuality of these things existing.
Yeah.
So that once they actually come out and say they exist, they're like, I fucking knew it. You know, I thought so.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we have a real short memory, man. Humans have a really fucking short memory. Like, we date our existences to Christ.
Yeah.
Basically. Right, we're in the year 2021.
80.
We date our existence. Our existence is way longer than when Christ was allegedly here.
Yeah.
So we literally give ourselves a stop, not knowing that human beings have had civilizations for 40, 50,000 years. Yeah. So a lot of them are going to end up like us and just get flooded out and eliminated, right? A lot of those civilizations disappeared. Majority because of floods, destroying everything because water eventually takes everything back. We're going to be that same.
I think now, though, with the way that we can technologically advance things, that there's ways that we can preserve information.
Yeah.
Like, look, for example, they launched those discs into space that were just like solid gold records, essentially, that had how much
billions
information,
of bits
you know, inscribed on it. I think there's ways that we are being able to conserve this technology for the ages these days. So I don't think that we would be able to have our history die out as quickly. But I do think it's inevitable, yeah.
So as we speak right now, the Emirates, China, and the U.S. have 3 spacecraft on Mars with rovers deployed that can traverse the planet They just sent back the first images of what Mars officially looks like. If you had the opportunity to go, are you going?
How long does it take to get there?
Right now, they say it takes like 4 years to get there, but that's going to be cut a lot shorter.
4 years in a spaceship.
But that's going to be cut a lot shorter when Elon Musk's space rockets are going there.
Wow.
He'll cut it down to 6 months.
Okay, I got 2 good conspiracy theories for you, by the way.
Are you going?
To Mars? I wouldn't want to be the first set of anybody going to a new planet.
Right.
No.
Just because I don't know what the hell's going on over there. It might not be that it's aliens. It could just be horribly harsh environment that is not survivable or terraformable to the way that we think it could be.
Yeah.
So you could just die a horrible death, just out there,
lonely,
dying of the elements
in your spacesuit.
In your spacesuit, and that's that, or it could be amazing, and you could be the pioneer of a new civilization.
You cannot age,
fucking
and
phenomenal.
essentially, you would be the first of a new species of humans. Because think about it, if you colonize Mars, people are going to begin to mutate to be able to live there comfortably.
Yeah.
You're going to get denser bones. You're going to get, less reliance on oxygen because of the thinner atmosphere. You're going to have probably
that's
darker
so far after we're
pigmentation
gone,
oh hell
Yeah.
but your genes are in that gene pool.
Yeah.
You have that thought, you know what I mean? Your legacy lives on to a new species.
Do you think that we are preparing ourselves for migration off of planet Earth?
Yeah, I think it's getting to a point
Yeah.
where they're looking at the very real need to do so.
Yeah. Which leads to my number one conspiracy. Right? That I'm on now, and this is when I've been like thinking about it for so long. The Earth is getting pulled in by the gravitational pull of the sun. I believe that we are all getting closer, and not in our generation, maybe the next one, that we're going to hear of a planet burning up by the sun.
Like Mercury or something, one of those
Mercury.
close ones.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen in our lifetime. If not,
That's terrifying.
they will never tell us. They will never tell us.
We wouldn't know.
But I think global warming is just that. I don't think it has anything to do with us polluting the Earth. And it has everything to do with the Earth is getting closer to the sun every year. Because we revolve around the sun.
Is this a flexible belief?
What do you mean? What do you mean? How do you
Depending on the time or the date,
wrong,
is this a
Well,
flexible belief?
I just think that every time we go whatever we go around the sun,
We're being pulled
we're
in.
being pulled in. It's like that spiral effect. It's a slow effect, right?
Well, yeah, if you think about it, there was a couple scientists that used a sheet of fabric to explain space-time, essentially, right? And gravity, I think
Yeah,
it
I love
was.
it,
And they
yeah.
put a ball, a heavy one in the middle, and they said, this is the sun, it's heavy. And they started to spin different size other balls around it that you see. And they're like, as you get closer to this heavier mass, they dip further in, and they get closer to it. And eventually, that elliptical orbit shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, and they all end up hitting it.
Yeah.
So it's an essential thing.
But how does that happen when the galaxy continues to expand?
Well, it has nothing to do with expansion because the star itself is so powerful. The sun itself is so powerful, and
It's
the
heavy.
gravitational pull from that sun is what's doing it. But this has been going on for billions of years. Obviously, there's no time. In the
4 billion
universe.
more approximately before
And
it's
I
gone.
think that scientists have figured out that, okay, look, we want to prolong this human species. We need to get to Mars because
further.
Mars is going to give us 200 more years to jump again. Because we're going to have to jump again another 200-300 years. So let's go there. We're going to take another, 100
Yeah,
years to
because they're already
colonize
thinking
on
about
Mars.
checking out the moons of Jupiter, right?
Right? They know that's what's happening. Scientists have figured that out, right? And there's just no point in telling us, because if they told us, oh, by the way, folks, an interesting thing we saw from NASA today. Connie, tell them about it. Yeah, Chuck. It's fucking, we're getting closer to the sun. People would fucking go nuts.
Yeah, we
they'd
can-
lose their shit.
They would lose their fucking marbles. They would go crazy, right? And they would they'd want to say, well, that's it, it's the end of the world. It's like 500 years from now,
So you're going on the vacated Mars then?
Yeah, that's why we're going. And
You think you'd go first?
would I go? No, I'm gonna burn on this fucking.
You-
I'm gonna burn on.
You
this
wanna be an
planet.
Earthling
I want
till
to see
death.
the end. I'd
Going
want to see
down with
the
the
end.
ship.
I'd be like, hold it, the big dose right in my thing. Hold it. Here it comes. Hold it. Right? Like, I was just waiting for it to hit the sun. I just want to see it. Waiting to put the big fentanyl dose in. Right? Like, or whatever it is. Right?
But you know what? We're so fucked up. We would want to go to war with the people on Mars.
Yes.
It would become a fucking
America Mars.
Amerimars, yeah.
Mars.
missiles firing
Marsica.
at each other. I don't like those fucking Martians up there. And we'd all just kill each other again.
Yeah.
No, man, but I think like the way the society
funny.
has been perpetuated is going to continue perpetuating that because war has been such a profitable thing. For as long as there's been people, there's been disagreements, and there's been somebody who makes something, you know, that could settle that disagreement, that tries to be like, yo, this will shut him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then they go to that other guy too, and they're like, yo, I heard this guy's going to grab one of these. You should grab one of these. You know what I mean? They make money because they profit off of both sides.
Yeah.
So they push conflict. And conflict has been such a profitable thing through the years that it's become ingrained in society. And I think it's going to take a big shift in consciousness.
We need grassroots. Grassroots politics are the only effective change.
I believe it.
The only effective change. It's always been the effective change.
I really believe that AOC is going to get a vice presidency seat. I think Kamala
that's
has.
monstrous.
I think it's
Open the
opened the
door.
door
It's a
for
game
a
changer.
vice presidency for a woman, and I think Kamala is the lesser in the eyes of the people that run America. She's the lesser of the two evils. She can still be maneuvered.
Okay, but that's them. I don't talk about these fucking Americans over and over again.
Yeah, but it's important.
We got a whole
because
bunch of fucking problems here.
It's important though, man. Like, you know, I don't care about their politics, but it's important to us because we follow them, not
Into
us.
every hole.
We follow them into everywhere, dude.
Into
And
every
it's-
fucking hole.
It affects us so much because, like you said, there's so many Canadians, or you said there's
Politically,
so
militarily,
that follow
economically.
Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
so hard, and for us to make a change here, we kind of have to be right on top of the things that happen in the States. it
Yeah.
feels like.
Are you a voter regularly?
Yes.
If you had an opportunity to be involved in a political party that you felt like was going in a direction that mattered, would you be someone that's open to being active in a political party?
Yeah, I think I would.
Have you seen any political parties that make you motivated to want to go out and make change?
Yeah, right now, I'm really a fan of Jagmeet, you know, the NDP, what they're
It's pretty
doing.
dope.
You know, do I agree with all of their policies? Of course not. But do I think that they have the best grasp on the balance while still progressing?
Yeah.
So far, yeah. Would I love to vote Green Party? Of course. But just some of the stuff like, what did they want to do? Replace all the government buildings with like wood and all that kind of stuff? It's like, well, that's stupid.
Yeah, there's some radical things that
But
aren't.
at the same
gonna
point, you're
work.
like, I still would want somebody who cares about us. You know what I mean? So I think like I would get on board with the NDP at this point if
Yeah.
I was to join a political party.
Yeah, I think Jagmeet's got a good pulse on what's happening. I think he's probably the most realistic politician as far as progressive policy goes. There's not a lot of progressive politicians that actually have a plan, and he seems like he's got a plan. I think the free dental is incredible. Just the thinking that you could have free dental, it's incredible.
It is.
So many people have their motherfucking teeth falling out and don't go because it's too expensive.
Oh man, it's ridiculous how
Yeah.
expensive dental work is, and it's so necessary. It affects your body on such a level. You know, people don't even understand that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a really important one.
Are you a voter?
I don't vote. No.
Would you vote if there was somebody that motivated you to vote?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been motivated by somebody to step out and vote?
No, never. No. I don't. It's really sad. I've admitted a lot of things, R. Kelly and not voting, right, tonight. But I just look at it as I don't want to settle if I'm
Fair.
going to vote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to be the Monday morning quarterback of politics and talk about it and talk about what people should do, because I hope that there would always be somebody there would someday be somebody who did that. I like Jagmeet, but the NDP party is the problem. You know what I mean? I like how fiery he is, man.
It's the only party
Yeah.
that allows him to be progressive.
You know, my girl voted NDP. Oh,
Yeah.
can I say that?
Yeah, we're not Americans.
Yeah, right. Right, she did, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I agree. Like, he needs a chance, and I'm more of the guy that's like, I see Obama and I think, yeah, great timing for Obama. Right? I don't care if it was fixed or set up. He was young. He just kind of shot up the ranks and they put him in there. It was good timing and people got some hope.
Yes.
From that.
But for
time,
policies, he was a Republican.
Yeah, but
He had no democratic policies outside of changing the pay gap for women. He didn't have any progressive policies. All of his policies were Wall Street policies.
Whatever his policies were, what
He was
did
just
for people.
he just had a hopeful energy.
But that's what it was. That's the thing,
yeah.
and that's the thing we miss out on. Because we're so inundated with technology and life, we forget about the humanity of our lives. We're so like, okay, well, yeah, babe, yeah, for sure, okay, yeah, driving while we fucking text. We're so inundated with distraction that we forget about human interaction, right? And it's so important, dude. And Obama kind of brought that back to people. People were on the street dancing about Obama.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
They were like dancing. We got Obama. They were dancing with it. Gangbangers were like putting away the reds, like taking all their shit. And it was happening, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like that's what I want to vote for. I want to vote for like
a movement,
other people to be inspired to make a difference because this person is going to actually do it. And I don't see anybody. I see Jag Meat maybe, but I worry.
Do you think that's
Canadian politics,
Do you think that's
man.
the climate of the politics or the people that are in the parties?
It's the people around him.
Because the Canadian political system is fucking garbage. The structure of the political system, the voting process, who you vote for, how they get elected, it's fucking antiquated garbage.
It's really sad.
And the fact that the Queen still has like some kind of idiotic veto power over the whole system is just moronic.
I don't even know. She's a figurehead.
Independent country.
Yeah.
Independent country. Yeah. But yeah, I honestly think I've been saying it for years. POCs need their own political party, man. They do. Brown people of all stripes need their own political party. People can think it's racist. I don't really give a fuck, but they do because nobody deliberately addresses the issues that people of color go through. And it's across the spectrum from Black people, indigenous people, Indian people, the people from the Philippines that come here and are oppressed. It's every stripe of brown you can imagine. Yeah. They need their own political representation. Economically, politically, socially, you just need a different structure, and the country doesn't allow it, but benefits and profits off of all the labor that's provided by the POC community.
Yep.
I don't know any brown person that doesn't have a job around me.
At least two.
Yeah, they all fucking work. They all pay taxes.
Yeah.
So if you pay monumental, because in this city it's a monumental amount of motherfucking taxes.
It's crazy.
And you have no representation. That's garbage. That's garbage.
All right, well, before we go, let's do a top three with them. All right, you got top three. So I'm going to give you something. You just tell me who your top three is on these, all right? We'll lighten it up a little bit before you go.
All right.
And it's really good. I'm glad you came on, man. It was really nice to meet
nice
you.
To be here.
And we'll do more. Like,
For sure.
we hopefully the shows and everything get going, and we're able to, come down and film there.
Oh, hell
yeah. Do this.
Be a party.
Right? Yeah, we want to do these kind of things. I'm really weary about going to places with the COVID and everything.
Me too, man. I have high-risk family members.
Me too, man. My girl is seriously high risk, so I'm just like, I cringe at it. It's scary, dude, and I hate that we're, as artists, going through this. But, hopefully you get it together and you get to do it.
Hopefully, man.
All right, so I'm going to ask you now, top three. Top three disco tracks.
Oh.
Ooh. Top three disco tracks. Do I even know three off the top of my head?
Well, you're a soul guy, so
fair,
you're right in that little thing. You're right in that little area.
Disco's another
track.
genre. I think.
Oh, wow.
There's a party going on right here.
That's a great one. Was the Shake Your Groove thing?
Shake Your Groove thing.
Okay.
That's a wicked one. Yeah, Celebrate. Yeah. Was it? Does that one even count? The September.
Oh yeah.
September's
Does
great.
that count?
Yeah.
Then, yeah,
you got it.
That's
pretty
my
good.
top three.
Okay.
Pretty young thing.
Oh, that's another good one too.
Does that count as disco?
Yeah, that was
the fuck yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Off the Wall was a
Off the
disco
Wall
album.
was disco
Oh, then yeah, PYT is number one.
Whole
100%.
motherfucking album.
PYT.
So
100%.
top three MMA fighters.
Top three
Any
MMA
brand, it doesn't matter where they're from.
Oof. Top three MMA fighters.
All time.
Okay. Of all time. Okay. I would go with, from boxing, I would have to give it to Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones Jr. Yep. I was a big fan of Silva back in the day.
Yeah.
He got me into like UFC and the MMA and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He was wicked.
Yep.
And then, oh my goodness, that's a hard one, man.
Yeah. It's tough to narrow down to 3, man.
Do I want like entertainment factor? Do I want technique? You know what I mean? Like, because for entertainment, I'd have to give it to Rampage.
Damn.
His matches were always like, I'm
Wild
watching
man.
it.
He was good.
It's gonna be, he might get knocked out, but he's going ham. He's slamming
He is.
people on their head. He's,
Yeah.
you know, when he picks you up and he was hitting people with them slams.
At his best.
Wild, yeah.
bad
At his
dude.
best, yeah.
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 Damn.
I think that would be my 3.
All right, I got one for you. All-time best dreads.
All-time best dreads.
Oh.
Damian Marley.
Oh, Damien
shit.
had nice dreads. Yeah, he had really clean dreads, like nice.
Yeah, man. He keeps them
Still
long,
fresh,
still
down to his
fresh.
ankles, and they still
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy. How
He's
old
rich
is he?
enough that he can pay to have somebody that he has to wash his hair
Upkeep
for him.
all the time.
Yeah.
Upkeep all the
Insane.
time.
Manage his dreads for him.
He's got
a
all the good
dread
oils
person.
and
Dude,
shit.
he's just rolling around naked, just like dreads.
Dude,
just
man.
Come on, like
In,
people
yeah.
wouldn't even say anything. They'd be like, "That's just Damien, man.
Yeah.
He's just rolling with his
In
dreads
Jamaica,
naked."
man, he could live like a god.
He probably is. The dreads, eh? It's like his Samson.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
His
like
strength,
it's his strength. But his dreads, he's just like a shell of a man.
Yeah.
Can't even play his guitar. Can't do anything. Oh, that's cool.
Shrinks
That's a
in
good
size.
choice. Okay, who's another nice dreads?
Another
Good
nice
ones.
dreads.
Good ones.
I would have to give.
Like, who's inspired you to go with dreads? 'Cause that's a lot of work, man. You got nice
It is a
ones
lot
too.
of
They're
work. Thanks, man.
Very
Appreciate it.
long.
Yeah. No, I've had these for like in 5 years now.
Yeah.
5 years, and when I first got them, they were maybe to my jaw.
Mm.
Yeah.
And my hair just always grows fast if I do anything to it. And this is constantly getting something done to it, you know?
Yeah, it's work.
So it pulls it and it grows fast. But I think for the reasons behind it, I would say Bob Marley on top of it,
Yes.
because he was so conscious with it and he was so inspirational behind his ways of thinking, you know?
Cool. That's cool. Those are nice dreads.
Are you a sneakerhead?
Not as much. You know, I'm the guy who would wear the black Air Forces, you know,
All day.
to go pick up my Timbs on the way to go wear my lugs to the place I don't really care about, you know.
Very nice.
You know?
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm not much of a sneakerhead, no, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I can't get behind that hype. Some people pay an extremely crazy amount of money for shoes.
Yeah, it's one of my vices.
Is it? Yeah.
Is it? Oh, yeah. No. I mean,
Oh,
Come on, man. I always tell you I got nowhere to go show off my shoes, so I just wear them to the podcast.
you're
Fair
allowed.
enough, fair enough.
Wendy shoe cam.
Yeah.
Wendy Williams shoe cam.
You had to go Wendy Williams. All the people you could bring up.
I mean, I don't know of anybody who has a shoe cam. So
Yeah, I know. We could do a high phrase shoe cam.
Yeah, we can
There you
do
go.
that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, the cannabis angle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Top down.
All right.
So let people know where they can find
Yeah,
you,
there you
man.
go.
If they want to hit you up on social media.
Yeah, social media you can.
If you want people to hit you up on
Oh,
social
I don't
media.
mind at all, man. All my socials are public.
Yes.
On Instagram, you can hit me up at jsoul88, JAYSOUL88. That's where I'm at on Snapchat. That's where I'm at on Instagram. If you want to find me on Facebook, it is Jarelle Da'Von Hepburn. Just went with my full name there.
Like a 90s R&B singer name right there.
I know, hit me up, you know.
Devon!
Oh, man.
Did you ever get that middle
Bro,
name?
when I heard my middle name, I knew I was in trouble.
Yeah,
Like, you immediately
yeah.
got that like gut dropped into your ass.
Who
You're like,
was
what
Devon
did I
in the
do?
family?
Only me.
Oh, that was
My
only
mom
you.
made it up for my middle name.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, capital D E apostrophe capital V O N.
Wow. Crazy.
Devon. Yeah.
Devontae Swing. That's like Jodeci, guys. Second
Veins all
Jodeci
bulging.
reference.
Yeah, oh yeah, you know
NOE.
it is.
That's
Wow.
funny. Yeah.
Jodeci get some love.
But yeah, man, when I heard that middle name, I was in trouble. You know, Jarelle Da'Von Hepburn. And my mom, her Jamaican accent always came out when she was angry.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, wow.
So that's when you hear it and you're like, oh shit. You start trying to think. You're like, what did she find out about? You know?
And that's what creates well-adjusted individuals, a good ass kicking
true.
every now and then.
You need an ass whooping.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I
Beat your
fear
kids.
my mom. She was
Don't-
a bouncer.
Don't beat your kids.
My mom was a bouncer. She used to come home and tell me some stories. She's like, "Oh, yep, I had to throw this guy down the stairs."
Ooh.
Oh.
and
So you
knock
couldn't
this
even fuck
person
with your
out.
mom like that.
Oh hell no, man! I remember the first time I talked back to my mom when I was 15 because I thought I was grown now.
Ooh.
She clocked me in my mouth.
Oh wow.
I was trying to be all bad in front of my friends. She like smacked me.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay. And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like, oh, that didn't hurt. And I just was like, well, you know.
Where was she a bouncer?
She bounced at Studio 54 in New West.
Wow.
Back in the day.
Yeah,
back when it
that's
was
like
Studio
Fever
50
now or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is,
While
Magnetic
ago,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, something. Yeah.
Some, but yeah, it was Studio 54 back in the day.
Wow,
Damn.
crazy.
She used to come back and used to always tell me a bunch of stories.
Wow, crazy. Mom with a bouncer, man.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good one. I haven't heard that one before.
Hey, man.
Hey, I heard that one ever.
It makes kids easy work.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because those drunk ass adults are a motherfucker, man.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
That's hilarious.
Yep, I did not step out of line, man.
No, hell
After
no.
that, especially after that one punch, man, I was like,
Oh,
damn, she
yeah.
get hit.
It's a lesson learned. Lesson learned. Dude, I'm a grown ass man. I won't talk back to my mom still.
Nope,
yeah,
still
that's
no.
funny.
Doesn't happen.
No, because you learn respect. It's not about the fear; it's about the respect.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And my kids learn the motherfucking same.
Respect.
But they do it out of fear because we beat that ass. No, we don't beat that ass.
Respect.
Well, I mean, you fear the ass whooping because you respect the person.
Damn right.
You know.
You hear that, kids? Ty and Tia, you're just going to watch this last 5-second clip. Beat that ass to keep you in check.
Beat that
There
ass.
you go. Times 2.
If I had them, I'd beat them.
Alite, Alite, ACDJ.
A to the DJ.
Jarelle in the building. High Phrase Podcast. Peace, y'all. Dope.
Good.
Nice.
That's really
It's
good.
dope, man.
So your mom was a bouncer. Right?
Yeah, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me, brother.
Thank you, man. So, like, what are you gonna do now when this ends? Like, so let's say they say COVID is gonna open up clubs for just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What do? Do you guys jump on it right away?
I don't think we jump on it right away. I think
just
it's been dangled too many times, you know what I mean? And then fucked up too many times by
Yeah.
people who just flout the rules and say, you know, fuck everything. We're going to do what we want to do. And I would hate to start something back up and then have to shut it down again too
'Cause
quickly.
it's hard on the artist, right? The
Yeah.
psychological
Exactly.
damage. Do you write music or play music or anything?
Me personally, I was more into like, I'm an actor.
Yeah.
So I do like film and
Oh,
stuff like that. I
cool.
write scripts and stuff like that. You know.
Same.
What I mean?
I'm the same,
Oh,
dude.
yeah?
I'm a
Crazy.
script writer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's cool.
So that's my creative outlet.
Oh,
that and cooking.
Yeah. Yeah, you could see, right? Green screen, self tapes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Doing all that shit. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's really crazy right now. So how do you find it for black actors in this city? Is there a lot of work here? It seems
There's
like they
a
do
lot
a lot
of work available,
Mhm.
but they tend to pick the ones that they always pick.
Same guys.
Yeah, yeah. It gets kind of pigeonholed into that. Like they know that they can rely on this person, so they don't even bother with anybody
Yeah.
else, which is great for that person, you know. But it's like, give me a chance.
You gotta go create your own.
Exactly.
I think there's enough talented people in the city where you could really make something independent and make it pop. You just need some really good camera work
Definitely.
and some great ideas and people that are ready to not get paid.
Yeah, that's
'Cause that's
me and
what's
my
gonna
brother are
happen.
starting that up. My brother, he is the behind the camera. He's like a videographer. He's an editor, and then like he does that for work.
Well, because this is what we do. Like, because I take acting classes next week. We both have agents. We're all trying to get in the same place. And there's so many creatives that we talk to all the time that we end up on the show.
Yeah.
If everyone combined their abilities, we could create something pretty easy.
100%, man.
Well, even I
100%.
just find like even as a writer, as I'm writing, I'm like, okay, I need to include all nationalities in this script, and I'm very conscious of it because I'm like, this is where we all have to start thinking.
We grew up in this area. We were surrounded by every nationality.
Yeah,
It's
We grew
true.
up with everybody.
For us to write about our reality, we can't take
yeah.
out any
It's natural.
nationality.
It's just normal for us.
But it's so weird. Like, I wonder if now you could write a story, because here's the thing. Like, I phoned a friend of mine. I was writing a script. I'm like, listen, if I'm a guy, can I write you as a white director a script about that has a black lead? And he's like, well, no, I can't direct that. I'm like, well, why can't you direct that? I want to know. He's like, well, because, if it's, black culture movie, it's black actors, and that's like, you probably want to have a black director. I'm like,
It's good that he knows his limitations.
it's good that he knows that. But then I'm thinking, like, that's weird, because what does it fucking matter. If I said, okay, well, the guy's white, and it's just a white guy now walking through it. Now you're able to guide him through because you understand white like, you know what I mean? And so I was like, because I'm writing this movie, and it could be either one, and I'm purposely writing it that way that you could be a black actor, you could be a white actor, you could be a Chinese actor, you could be anything, right? And he's just like, I'll write it for a white actor. I'm like, okay.
But if you're writing it that way, that's different, right? But if you're writing for a black character, I don't think you.
He's like, you can't.
It's a lived experience, right? Living in brown skin is a lived experience. There's details that you don't know if you're white.
Okay, but can you imagine what life would be like for a Crip?
You can imagine it. I mean, you can imagine it. You could have great imagination. You could have great ideas, great thoughts, great writing even. But you can't live it. There's always going to be a stereotypical trope that you use to fill in the blanks that you don't understand. There's always going to be some kind of there's always going to be some kind of compensating in your thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't think personally it would ever be authentic without having the
Okay,
actual
but have you seen
representation.
Boys in the Hood?
Of course, John Singleton's a fucking genius.
Have you seen that fucking movie All About the Benjamins?
Yeah, with Cube and
Juice. You seen Juice?
Yeah, of course.
Have you seen what's the fucking Above the Rim? Remember Above the Rim?
Yeah.
So you've seen all those 5 movies. Don't you think you could write a script for a black movie or for any type of movie? Have you seen 16 Candles?
Yes, back in
Right?
the day. Yeah.
Have you seen Back to the Future?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you could list off 5 white movies you've seen. Don't you think you could write a white movie?
Well, white people don't have
I
culture,
think there's
though.
some of the things that you would miss some of the nuances.
The nuances, right?
You'd be able to write a general script, and you'd be able to write an enjoyable script that people could relate to. But you wouldn't be able to have it as grounded and real because you wouldn't have some of those subtle nuances.
Like a Chinese movie, like trying to write a Chinese movie.
Yeah.
And kind of like, have you seen Parasite?
Yeah. The
Right?
Korean one, right?
Yeah.
Incredible,
That was
incredible
a wild movie,
Yeah.
man.
Incredible.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine writing something like that. Like, you know, in it feels to me that if I was a guy that wrote a Korean movie and I brought it to someone in Hollywood, they would look at me like, you're crazy.
100%
You wrote
they
a
would.
fucking Korean movie?
100%
Like,
they would.
You're not Korean, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
why we, right? It's there's that feel, dude. And that's, you know, that's part of all the problem. It's part of the issue.
I think you got to give everything a fair shake, you know? Like, at least give it a read.
I think so.
Because I think if that person's bringing it to you, so long as they're open to you inputting so that you can increase the value of it by adding to it,
Yeah.
then yeah, by all means, you know what I mean? And sometimes you might not even need that, depending on what you're trying to do. Not every movie has to be like a movement, you know? Some movies can just be movies. I get
Entertainment.
that.
Yeah.
You know, I get that. Some movies can just be a comedy.
Like-
Some movies can just be an action, right? Like
I don't
The
think
Expendables. I fucking love that movie. It was trash.
Yeah.
But I fucking
it's a
love
great
that
movie.
movie.
It's a great, it's a
Like,
great movie. Okay, it's a great movie.
It's a great movie, but like if you, you know what I mean, like you can't go there. It's not like winning any Oscars. You know what I mean?
But you know, I see. I don't think anybody else. I don't think a white person could have made Get Out.
No.
No,
Couldn't have happened.
because they couldn't have made it as psychologically scary,
Terrifying, yeah.
bro. Like
The small details they just wouldn't have gotten. That Jordan Peele just wrapped it all up beautifully. Yeah.
man, I was iffy about people stirring shit around me for a month. Like I had to fight myself from slapping shit out of people's heads. Not
Right.
today.
Just something about when you create from your perspective, you kind of capture, I think, all the details of what it means to be you in your culture, right? Unless you don't really have a culture or a background
That's cool.
in your culture, right? It's different.